The Grammys are one of the most important music events of the year, but it doesn't always go according to plan. With so much excitement and nervous energy in one room, it's no wonder it had its fair share of awkward moments this year. The Grammys had a massive slip-up last night, accidentally releasing the wrong name on their X page for the recipient of the Best Rap Song Award. They announced that Barbie World from Barbie the Album, performed by Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice, won, when it was actually Killer Mike for Scientists and Engineers. This was especially awful, as this would have been Nicki Minaj's first Grammy win, something fans have been lobbying for years. Nicki has been nominated 12 times since 2011, but has never taken anything home. It was an unfortunate mistake that was quickly fixed, but not before multiple fans grabbed screenshots of the tweet.
They announced on Twitter, and this is their Twitter, that Barbie World, Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice just won Best Rap Song. Then they gonna say the Grammy's official account mistakenly announced Barbie World as the Best Rap Song winner instead of Scientists and Engineers. What the hell?
Miley Cyrus has finally won a Grammy. It's about time. She won for her track Flowers in the Best Pop Solo Performance category. Flowers spent 38 weeks at the top of the Billboard Adult Contemporary chart, making it the longest-running #1 hit in the chart's history. The hook of the song and just the message in general had quite a chokehold over TikTok when it first came out. My point is, the song was popular. Everybody was singing it, just not last night during Miley's performance, leading to an awkward moment where Cyrus called out the silent crowd saying, "Why are you acting like you don't know this song?" Which is fair, the song is super fun, and pretty soon after, lots of people were up and dancing. Miley continued to bring the energy after she sang, started to cry, but then remembered, "I just won my first Grammy." No one was silent after that. She also received the Grammy for the Record of the Year, also for Flowers. BB Rexa was nominated this year with David Guetta in the Pop Dance Recording category for their collab One in a Million. BB is known on her own for party anthems like Me, Myself and I and In the Name of Love, but did you know about her extensive opera training? If you didn't, you probably found out last night in the middle of her red carpet interview with Laverne Cox. The pair started out with the average red carpet talking points, the songs, and the glam, but towards the end of the interview, Laverne brought up a past time the pair had met when BB revealed she wanted people to get to know the real her. She also brought up the fact that BB is a talented opera singer, asking her to share something about herself singing if she wants. And she did! The two of them were having a lot of fun, but for the viewers at home and on the side of the screen, there was a bit of confusion as to why a high C was suddenly being heard. Plus, singing with no music, unprepared, is always an awkward experience. Although, if this were going to happen on any red carpet, it would be the Grammys. Just a few days ago, UMG Studios announced that it would be pulling all of their artists' music from the popular social media app TikTok, prompting disappointments from fans worldwide. This would include songs from people like Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, Harry Styles, and Drake. UMG announced that the reasoning for that was TikTok wasn't providing adequate compensation for the use of the music. This year's host, Trevor Noah, he did not shy away from the situation. He called it out, saying, "TikTok, shame on you for ripping off all these artists. That's Spotify's job." Spotify was minding their business, but I guess no one is safe. Spotify did have a similar controversy a few years ago, but there is a new policy being put in place this year that no one is a fan of. The change is that if an artist receives less than 1,000 streams, they won't be compensated at all. For reference, Spotify pays artists about 0.003 to 0.005 of a cent per stream. That's only about $3 for 999 streams. Maybe they did deserve the call out. SZA won her 4th Grammy yesterday for her song Snooze. It was in the Best R&B category, but she was the most nominated artist for the evening with 9 nominations. Longtime friend Lizzo got to announce the R&B win, and it was met with plenty of excitement from the audience, only SZA was nowhere to be found. She took so long to come out on stage that people started looking for her. It only took about 20 seconds for her to come out on stage, but on a stage and screen as big as the Grammys, that feels like an eternity. SZA did explain her absence during her acceptance speech. She was in the middle of a costume change and had to do a, I'm assuming, celebration shot. Casey Musgraves was nominated in 2 categories last night, Best Country Song and Best Country Duo/Group Performance, for the song I Remember Everything, winning the latter. She had the opportunity to present an award this year. Unfortunately, the new winner almost didn't hear their name. Casey was standing so far back from the mic that the audience and at-home viewers had to strain to hear her. She did correct her mistake in time to announce the winner, eventually moving further forwards to actually announce the name. There was a bit of awkward silence as everyone tried to hear exactly what was going on beforehand though. Another awkward red carpet moment came from actor and singer Michael Trotter. He revealed revealed in an interview that he had been pretty worried because he thought his wife, singer Tanya Trotter, was going to divorce him before their Grammy nomination. As an interviewer, I wouldn't know what to do with that if I received that info, but they handled it well. The pair is still together under the name War and Treaty and were nominated for their collaboration Lover's Game in the Best New Artist category. They received 2 nominations for the evening but did not go home with either, unfortunately. Not everyone loves audience participation, even some of the biggest artists on the planet. During Fantasia's Tina Turner tribute, eagle-eyed fans spotted Beyoncé slightly hiding under her hat, not making eye contact when Fantasia was looking for a dance partner. The performance is a lot of fun and packed full of energy, so I can understand Beyoncé maybe wanting to sit back and enjoy watching instead of being a part of the piece. Beyoncé was not nominated for any Grammys this year. She did attend though with her daughter Blue Ivy to support her husband Jay-Z, who was receiving the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award. Beyoncé has received 88 nominations and 32 wins over the years, making her the artist with the most Grammy awards, yet never an album of the year, which actually led to another awkward moment. Not necessarily awkward for the audience, and more awkward for the Grammys. During Jay-Z's acceptance speech for the Impact Award, he used part of his time to call out the award show for snubbing his wife in the Best Album category. He said, "I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than anyone and never won Album of the Year. Even by your own metric, that does not work. Think about that. Most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work." And he's right. Beyoncé has created some of the best music and pop culture moments of our generation, and she's never won in that category? That's kind of weird. This isn't the first time Jay-Z has stood up to the Grammys. In 1998, he boycotted the Grammys over rapper DMX's lack of nominations. Probably the most awkward moment of all happened after someone left the Grammy stage. Rapper Killer Mike won 3 Grammys last night for Best Rap Song, Best Rap Performance, and Best Rap Album for his 2023 album, Michael. However, what should have been a celebratory evening turned sour when he was seen leaving the event in handcuffs. A social media post from the LAPD said the reason the rapper was taken into custody was because he got into a physical altercation that occurred at the 700 block of Chick Hearn Court. Allegedly, he got physical with a security guard that was not moving fast enough for Killer Mike's liking. No other details have been released yet.
First up, we have Jay-Z. This happened recently at this year's Grammy Awards. Jay-Z won the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award at the Grammy Awards on Sunday and called out the Recording Academy for failing to recognize his wife, Beyoncé, with Album of the Year. "I'm just saying, we want y'all to get it right," the Hard Knock Life rapper said. "We love y'all, at least get it close to right. Obviously, it's subjective because it's music and it's opinion based, but some things, you know, I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that," he repeated. "The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work." Beyoncé has been nominated for Album of the Year 4 times, but has lost each time she has been nominated. First to Taylor Swift, then to Beck, then to Adele, and finally to Harry Styles. She currently holds the record for the most Grammy wins in history with 32. Jay-Z went on to cheekily mock the intense emotions that Grammy losers sometimes endure. "Some of you are gonna go home tonight and you feel like you've been robbed," he said. "Some of you may get robbed. Some of you don't belong in the category. When I get nervous, I tell the truth." Next up, we have Billy Joel. When Frank Sinatra was honored at the 1994 Grammys with the Legend Award, his speech seemed to go on and on. But no one expected the broadcast to cut him off mid-sentence and immediately go to commercial. Later, during the ceremony, Billy Joel took a stand. He stopped his performance of River of Dreams intentionally to waste commercial time, saying, "Valuable advertising time going by. Dollars, dollars, dollars." He smirked and carried on. Now let's talk about Milli Vanilli. In a first for the Grammys, the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences rescinded Milli Vanilli's 1990 Best New Artist Award after it was revealed that the duo did not sing at all, did not sing any of the vocals on their album All or Nothing, including their mega hit Girl You Know It's True. That is not the kind of history that any artist wants to make. I hope revoking this award will make the industry think long and hard before anybody ever tries to pull something like this again, the Recording Academy president said at the time. Seemingly, it has. If you don't know the whole story, let me recap. The German-French pop duo barnstormed through European charts with their first single, Girl You Know It's True. The song hit the US airwaves in March later that year with stratospheric impact. Their debut album sold over 8 million million copies and spawned 3 #1 singles. It stayed in the top 10 for the rest of the year. Young fans, mainly women, screamed along to Rob Pilatus and Fabrice Morvan's tight choreography and blatant eye candy. All of that was overshadowed and then swept into the dustbin of pop history by disgrace. By the time Milli Vanilli accepted the Grammy Award for Best New Artist in 1990, many in the music business suspected something was afoot. That November, Farian, one of the members, revealed in a press conference that the duo never sang on any of their recordings and lip-synced their performances. Wow. Radio stations stopped playing all their songs and fans destroyed their records, as well as the Grammys rescinding their award for the only time ever in history. Next up, we have 21 Pilots. Upon receiving their Grammy for Best Pop Duo Performance for the song Stressed Out at the 2017 Grammys, 21 Pilots walked up on stage to accept the award in their underwear. According to the band, it was fulfilling an old promise that they made to each other to accept their first Grammy in their underwear. Host James Corden followed suit, introducing Ed Sheeran later that night in his boxer briefs as he explained to the audience, "I always told myself that if I ever hosted the Grammys, I would also do it in my underwear." 21 Pilots have had their fair share of controversy. In 2020, Tyler Joseph issued an apology after making a joke about using his platforms, which many of his followers deemed insensitive. He took to Twitter to share 2 photos of himself wearing a pair of white shoes, captioning the post, "You guys keep asking me to use my platforms. Feels good to dust these bad boys off." The joke was perceived to be a response to many of the singer's fans who have urged him to use his status and large following to raise awareness of the Black Lives Matter movement and other social issues. "Human rights aren't a joke, but okay," one fan replied. Another commented, "No, that's actually not what we mean. We would like you to speak up on the injustice in this country." A third follower labeled the post, quote, "really tone deaf and insensitive," adding, "You've been known to not like to talk about politics, but are human rights really that political? No, they are not." Next up, we have Kanye West. At the 2015 Grammys, Kanye nearly went on stage after Beck won Album of the Year. Everybody thought he was joking, maybe making a reference to his infamous 2009 VMAs moment when he jumped on stage and told Taylor Swift that she didn't deserve her award, but this time he wasn't joking. Although he didn't take the mic this time around, he shared his thoughts on Beck's win after the show, saying, quote, "All I know is if the Grammys want real artists to keep coming back, they need to stop playing with us. We ain't gonna play with them no more. Beck needs to respect artistry and he should have given his award to Beyoncé, and at this point, we're tired of it," Kanye said, with his wife Kim K at his side. He continued, "Because what happens is when you keep on diminishing art and not respecting the craft and smacking people in the face after they deliver monumental feats of music, you're disrespectful to inspiration, and we as musicians have to inspire people who go to work every day and they listen to that Beyoncé album and they feel like it takes them to another place." Next up, we have Miley Cyrus. Miley has had her fair share of award show moments, like when she grinded on a pole on top of an ice cream cart at the Teen Choice Awards, and when she performed Blurred Lines, dressed as a naked bear. But at this year's Grammys, Miley spoke her honest truth while performing her mega hit song Flowers. Everything was going well in her performance until she got to the chorus. I guess she noticed the audience wasn't singing along, and so she stopped the song saying, "Why are you acting like you don't know the song?" After a moment of silence, she continued, with no one in the audience joining in. Next up, we have Taylor Swift. Now, Taylor has had over a decade of going to the Grammys, so let's talk about 2 awkward moments. First up is more recent. At this year's Grammys, Celine Dion presented the award for Album of the Year to Taylor Swift. This was a huge moment for Celine, as this is her first public event since the announcement of her illness, stiff person's syndrome. You'd think Taylor would respect the person giving her the award, but no. Taylor got on stage, hugged every single person on there except for Celine Dion. She also didn't make eye contact with her while taking the award. Yikes. I guess there's unknown beef between the 2 megastars. Next, we have the famous red carpet interview from the 2015 Grammy Awards. To refresh your memory, the exchange unfolded while Swift spoke with Entertainment Tonight reporter Nancy O'Dell about her dress. Things took an awkward turn when O'Dell insinuated about her much talked about dating life. As the camera does a full take on Taylor's dress, the reporter says, quote, "I just wanted to show the legs because as I was telling you ahead of time, you're going to walk home with more than maybe just a trophy tonight." I think lots of men. The singer appears to shoot Odell a death stare before replying, "No, I'm not gonna walk home with any men tonight. I'm gonna go hang out with my friends and then I go home to the cats." Next, we have Trevor Noah. As host of the 2024 Grammys, Trevor had a lot to say. As the music industry continues making sense of music by UMG artists being removed from TikTok earlier this week, on Sunday night during the Grammy Awards, host Trevor Noah called out TikTok during his opening monologue. "Shame on you, TikTok, for ripping off artists. That's Spotify's job," he says. Wow. Nice and honest. I like it. Our next celebrity is Nicki Minaj. In Nicki's 2012 Grammys performance, people were, let's just say, confused. Her performance of Roman's Revenge was confusing and super bizarre. For those who don't know, Roman is Nicki's British alter ego. During the first part of her performance, she was pretending to be Roman while confessing her sins to a priest. While Nicki may think her Roman character is interesting, most of the population does not. In fact, most people in the audience just assumed Roman was Nicki rapping in a British accent. She falsely assumed that people would understand the story behind her performance. Most people questioned what was happening at the time, and the performance was a lot to take in. Besides being difficult to understand, Nicki was full of manic energy and really difficult to watch. Many found the Catholic Church imagery to also be offensive, and it was obvious that she lip-synced most of her performance. Finally, we have Beyoncé. At the 2023 Grammy Awards, Beyoncé was missing when it came to accept her award. Viola Davis announced the nominees and revealed that Beyoncé had won. However, when the camera panned to the audience, the Break My Soul singer was not there, despite Trevor Noah, who also hosted that year's awards, saying that she was in the crowd moments earlier. After the camera couldn't find Beyoncé, it panned back to the stage where two men were standing holding the singer's award. One of the men, one of the writers of the song, said something inaudible into the microphone before ending with, "Beyoncé, thanks y'all." Trevor stepped up to the mic and told the confused audience Beyoncé is on her way after being stuck in traffic. Beyoncé has now equaled the award for most Grammys of all time, he added, stalling until she arrived.
Starting off our list at number 10 today, we have Harry Styles. Currently, Harry Styles is receiving backlash over comments he made during his Album of the Year speech at the Grammys on Sunday. What should have been a big night for Harry after he performed his #1 single, as it was, and won his first Grammy Award, would soon be forgotten after he made some pretty serious remarks during his acceptance speech. After he won Album of the Year, reacting to Harry's win, he said, "I've been so inspired by every artist in this category with me at a lot of different times in my life. I think on nights like tonight, it's so important to remember that there's no nights like tonight. It's so important to remember that there's no such thing as best in music. This is really, really kind. I'm so grateful that this doesn't happen to people like me very often. This is so nice. Thank you." While fans were quick to congratulate Harry, others decided to point out that there were issues with Harry claiming that this doesn't happen to people like him very often, because for years, white men like Harry have always been given preferential treatment at the award shows like the Grammys, and this year he was up against artists who have been historically shut out of those awards for years. Number 9, Chris Brown. Chris Brown isn't a happy camper after finding out that he lost out on Best R&B Album of the Year to pianist Robert Glasper at the 65th Grammy Awards on Sunday. Voicing his anger over his loss, Chris would head over to his Instagram to fire shots at Robert in a series of stories posted to Chris's account. In one post, Chris would say, "Y'all playing, who the F is this?" alongside a picture of Glasper with several crying laughing emojis. And he didn't stop bashing Robert there, as he then went on to say, "Who the F is Robert Glasper? I'ma keep kicking y'all ass. Respectfully." Robert, who has written and produced albums for hitmakers including Kendrick Lamar and Mac Miller, has received 12 nods across 8 categories throughout his entire musical career. Chris wrapping up his roasting session against Glasper would prove that he's just a sore loser when he said, "I gotta get my skills up, I'ma start playing the harmonica." The internet would then start to call out Chris Brown, and one person on the internet even pointed out Chris Brown having no idea who Robert Glasper is and proceeding to come for him him perfectly explains why his music hasn't grown or matured in the last 15 years. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming in number 8 we have Quavo and Offset. It's now been reported that Quavo and Offset allegedly got into a fight backstage at the Grammys just before Quavo took to the stage to play tribute to Takeoff. TMZ would then report that sources have confirmed that the two rappers even had to be pulled apart. Apparently, in the beginning, the Grammy producers reportedly asked Offset to play tribute, but Quavo stopped that from happening. Sources then added it wasn't Offset who started the fight on Sunday. Quavo then ultimately took the stage alone to perform his song Without You during the show's Memoriam segment. The song arrived last month and it is about the late rapper who fatally lost his life on November 1st at the age of 28 in Houston. Prior to Takeoff's passing, the rapper released a collaborative album with Quavo. While rumors at this time were circulating that the Migos had broken up, it's unclear at the time if the group was just simply taking a hiatus. Takeoff would then give more of an uncertain response by saying, "Only time will tell, we always will be family now, that ain't gonna change." However, if one thing's clear, he would have definitely been disappointed in Quavo if he knew he shut out Offset from remembering his legacy as well. Number 7, Nicki Minaj and Latto. Back in October, first round of voting for the Grammys would be announced, and with the awards in process, it started to stir up some major controversy in the hip-hop world and beyond. A feud between Nicki Minaj and Latto broke out into the open after Nicki said she felt like the Recording Academy was showing a bias towards Latto in a way their work was being categorized. As the Twitter war between the two started to heat up, Nicki would even call the newcomer an entitled Karen, and Latto would return the fire by saying Nicki was a 40-year-old bully acting in a way unbecoming of her age and stature. She then referred to Nicki as my idol turned rival, and then the conversation quickly turned nuclear when the rapper said, "Super freaky grandma is married and related to an effing R. You ain't gonna bully me, B, my idol turned rival. Now you hating." While Nicki went to delete the tweets, Latto has kept them up, and it highlights that you can ruin your career before the Grammys even get started. It also shows that women need to stop going after other women coming up from under them. Number 6, The Weeknd. When voting began for the 2023 Grammy Awards, the ballot would reveal that The Weeknd has still continued to withhold his music from the awards consideration. While the artist appeared across the ballot numerous times due to his guestwork, his respective solo album would be nowhere to be found. The Weeknd first began his boycott of the Grammys in 2021 after not receiving any nominations for his massive, successful After Hours or its singles. He then went on to say, "Because of the secret committees, I will no longer allow my label to submit my music to the Grammys." Even after the Recording Academy changed some of its rules, he maintained that he would not be submitting his work. However, despite his boycott, The Weeknd did win the 2022 Grammy Award for the Best Melodic Rap Performance for his contributions to Kanye West Hurricane. Number 5, Will Smith. So it's clear that the Grammys never hurt Will's career. However, I think it's still worth mentioning that Will Smith boycotted the Grammys back in 1989 after he and his musical partner DJ Jazzy Jeff boycotted the Grammy Awards after learning that the presentation of the award for the new category at the time of Best Rap Performance wouldn't be televised. Smith and Jeff were nominated and ultimately won the Grammy for Parents Just Don't Understand. Smith then in an interview with Entertainment Tonight would say, "We don't have a problem with the Grammys as an award or the Grammys as an institution. We just had a problem with the 1989 design of the award show. We chose to boycott. We feel that it's a slap in the face." He then told the LA Times after winning he was more than happy to accept it, before adding that he wasn't happy as he could have been, as the presentation was not televised and distracted him from the excitement of the award. Now, it's no lie that Will Smith will boycott shows that he sees problems with, and the Grammys have clearly not changed since. Number 4, Trevor Noah. During the 2022 Grammys, Trevor Noah would make a pretty controversial speech after he decided it was a good idea to address address the Will Smith Oscar slap during his introduction. During the ceremony, Trevor went on to say, "We're going to be listening to some music, we're going to be dancing, we're going to be singing, we're going to be keeping people's names out of our mouths." With the Grammys and the Oscars only just being days apart from each other, it really wasn't the time or the place to make fun of such a hurtful incident, especially since no one should ever condone violence or make fun of it. Not to mention, Will also started to go through a really tough mental health crisis after the incident, and he chose to quit the academy as a result of his actions. However, the world just keeps making such a heavy topic a joke, and that's not okay. Number 3, Justin Timberlake. Both Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake were under fire after a planned costume reveal during the Super Bowl halftime show didn't go exactly the way they thought it would, after Justin accidentally ripped Jackson's costume and revealed her chest on camera. Just weeks later, both Timberlake and Jackson were asked not to attend the Grammys unless they agreed to apologize on stage. Jackson had been part of a planned tribute to Luther Vandross, while Justin had been nominated for several awards and was also scheduled to perform. Justin ultimately went on to apologize, however, Miss Jackson declined the invitation, so as a result, Jackson ended up being cut from the tribute, while Justin went on to take home an Album of the Year and Best Vocal Pop Album. During his speech, he also decided to bring up the event again, maybe to embarrass Janet, when he apologized for offending his fans in the Academy. Number 2, Milli Vanilli. Milli Vanilli, a duo composed of Robert Pilatus and Fab Morvan, hit the music scene with their hit album Girl You Know It's True. With 3 of their songs on the album hitting the #1 spot, they would soon be nominated for Best New Artist. However, after they took home the prize, they would soon be forced to give their award back just 9 months later, after it was revealed that they didn't actually perform any of their songs on their album and that they had actually lip-synced their way through all of their live performances. While some said the lip-syncing was known by some in the industry, others couldn't believe that the duo were faking it because they were so good at it. In fact, at first even their own record label didn't even know that the two were lip-syncing, but later uncovered the truth. The artists then felt so bad about the deception that just a week before their cover was actually blown, they suggested that the prize should be given to the actual singers on their album, John Davis, Brad Howell, and Charles Shaw. The pair then officially returned the Grammys just one day after Michael Green revoked their prize. Number 1, Kanye West. When it comes to award shows, you never know what Kanye's going to do, and due to his very controversial behavior, he would even find himself being barred from performing at the Grammys in 2022 due to his concerning online behavior. Variety would then confirm that the decision would come just a day after Kanye, legally known as Ye, was suspended from Instagram for 24 hours for his multiple posts of hate speech, bullying, and harassment. Trevor Noah, the comedian and Daily Show host, then criticized the post Kanye made about his ex-wife Kim, to which Kanye would respond by using a racial slur before deleting the post. The decision the Academy made to drop West wasn't really unexpected. However, the veteran rapper The Game, who collaborated with West on a recent single with a Pete Davidson trolling video, would say, "Time and time again, they show us that they want to steal the culture and not allow you to ever be their equals." However, with Kanye spewing so much hate, it had nothing to do with culture, but more to do that they didn't want him to use their platform to spew more hate, because these events are about joy and celebrating and not hurting others.
And at number 10, Justin Timberlake. After the infamous Nipplegate scandal involving Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl, the pair were in very hot water with the public. The Grammys took place shortly after the Super Bowl, and in order for Justin Timberlake to attend the Grammys, he was told he had to make a public apology for the incident at the 2004 show. So when he was announced as the winner for Best Pop Performance for his single Cry Me a River, he came up and delivered his acceptance speech, along with including this apology. During his speech, he said, quote, "I know it's been a rough week on everybody. What occurred was unintentional, completely regrettable, and I apologize if you guys are offended." However, this caused some people to wonder why Janet Jackson was not at the Grammys. Apparently, she was asked to apologize by the Grammys, but she refused, so she was not able to attend the show. And at number 9, Will Smith. In 1989, Will Smith and his collaborator DJ Jazzy Jeff boycotted the Grammy Awards because the category of Best Rap Performance was not going to be put on TV. This felt like a slap in the face to Will because it seemed like the Grammys did not care about rap music.
He then in an interview with Entertainment Tonight, where he explained that he had no issues with the Grammys as an organization, but he just wanted to make it clear that he didn't agree with their decision regarding the rap category. But shockingly, even though he didn't attend the awards, he and DJ Jazzy Jeff still won the Best Rap Performance for their hit, Parents Just Don't Understand. After Will Smith took a stand in that way, plenty of other artists have publicly boycotted the awards over policies the singers do not agree with. And at number 8, Milli Vanilli. Music duo Milli Vanilli took the world by storm in 1990 when their song, Girl You Know It's True, topped the charts globally. Their catchy song made them an instant hit, and the pair even won a Grammy Award for Best New Artist, thanks to the hit song. But 8 months later is when the scandal would start. While the pair were performing on stage at a different event, their track skipped, and it was revealed that the pair were lip-syncing. But that was not all. Apparently the men didn't even sing the songs in the first place. Someone else sang their music, and these men were just hired to be the face of the brand, dancing and performing the music on stage. After the scandal was exposed, the Grammys took the award away from Milli Vanilli. They were the first artists ever to have their award taken away from them. And at number 7, Eminem. If you guys aren't familiar with Eminem, his lyrics are very controversial. He frequently uses slurs in his music, specifically against the LGBT community. In 2001, Eminem received backlash from the community for homophobic lyrics on his album, the Marshall Mathers LP. In the midst of the backlash, it was announced that he would be performing at the 2001 Grammy Awards. The GLAAD organization then held a protest against the decision and called out the Grammys for giving his words a platform. In response to all the backlash, Eminem made a statement by performing his hit song Stan with Elton John, who is of course openly gay. At the end of their performance, the pair hugged it out, and then Eminem flipped off the Grammy audience. And at number 6, Andre 3000. After Outkast won the Album of the Year award at the 2004 Grammys for Speakerboxx / The Love Below, the group's lead singer Andre 3000 closed out the show with a performance of their hit song, Hey Ya. But the performance was a little different than usual, because he sang while wearing a Native American themed costume that ended up offending the Native American viewers. They believed there was a clear double standard, and the performance would not have happened if the performance was emulating another community. After the performance got backlash from the Native community, CBS apologized on behalf of the group for their choice of clothes. Halfway number 5, Chris Brown. One of the worst scandals ever was back in 2009 when Chris Brown brutally Rihanna. You might not have known this, but this event is actually connected to the Grammys. The night before the Grammys, there's always a prestigious party thrown called the Clive Davis Grammy Pre-Party. The night before the 2009 show, Chris Brown and Rihanna attended the party together, but unfortunately only hours after they left is when the terrible incident occurred in the car where they were driving back from the party. The next day, shocking headlines revealed what happened, and it completely overshadowed the awards themselves. Neither one of the pair showed up at the show because they obviously had more important things to deal with, but it definitely changed the tone of the show. And at number 4, Whitney Houston. This is sadly another tragedy that was linked to the annual Clive Davis Grammy party, held the night before the Grammys. After the 2012 party, Whitney Houston went back to her room at the Beverly Hills Hotel and unexpectedly passed away. Her passing not only made headlines the day of the show, but it drastically shifted the tone of the event. During the show's In Memoriam segment, for artists who had passed away that year, Jennifer Hudson took to the stage and performed Houston's classic hit, I Will Always Love You. Hudson ended the performance by saying, quote, "Whitney, we will always love you." And at number 3, Macklemore. 2014 was the breakout year for two major artists, Kendrick Lamar and Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, but only one took the top spot at the 2014 Grammys. Shockingly, Kendrick Lamar took home 0 awards, while Macklemore essentially swept the show, taking home the trophies for Best New Artist and Best Rap Album. Fans online were shocked over Macklemore's win and immediately started pushing that Kendrick deserved the award instead. The backlash against his win got so bad that apparently Macklemore texted Kendrick after the award show and admitted that he deserved the award more than him. The text read, quote, "I wanted you to win, you should have." And at number 2, Wu-Tang Clan's Interruption. Before Kanye West was known for the worst acceptance speech interruption, the Wu-Tang Clan actually had that title after they interrupted Sean Colvin at the 1998 awards. After the winners were announced, Sean Colvin took home the award for her song, Sunny Came Home. But not before Wu-Tang Clan's ODB came on stage first, grabbed the mic and started ranting. Everyone just kinda stood by and watched because nobody knew what to do. He came on stage and said he bought an expensive outfit because he thought the group was going to win the award. But the craziest part is that the Wu-Tang Clan was not even nominated for the award that year. Colvin then tried to give her speech, but admitted that she was pretty confused when she came onto the stage. And finally, at number 1, Taylor Swift. So the infamous Kanye mic stealing incident did not happen at the Grammys, it happened at the VMAs. But the tension between the pair was definitely felt during the 2016 Grammys. That year was particularly rough for Taylor. She was branded a snake by Kim and Kanye, and everyone thought she was a liar after Kim revealed that Kanye asked Taylor about some of the lyrics for her song Famous. Then when Taylor went on stage to accept her award for the Album of the Year at the Grammys, she made sure to take a dig at Kanye during her speech. She said, quote, "There will be people along the way that try to undercut your success or take credit for your accomplishments or your fame." Clearly referencing the line in Kanye's song where he raps that he made Taylor famous. Taylor's BFF Selena Gomez looked on lovingly from the crowd, so proud of her friend.
Starting off our list today at number 10, we have Ben Affleck. Okay, so we've all been wondering what happened between Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez at the Grammys. Well, thanks to Anna, a seat filler, she took to her TikTok to address what was going on between them after Ben was spotted looking not so happy during the ceremony. Apparently, Ben was looking a little gloomy because he wasn't really happy that he was going viral for his facial expressions. Ben was really upset at the fact that he was going viral again, as previously the actor and director went viral for the sad Affleck meme a while back. Anna in a video continued to say he knew during the performance that he was a meme, like he knew, and he also chose just not to change his expression. And also went on to note that she didn't know the meme of Ben Affleck being an upset at the award show, and she didn't speak to him while she was seated beside him because he didn't look so happy. Number 9, Trevor Noah. After this year's Grammy, a girl named Pan exposed a bunch of celebrities at the Grammys and how they acted throughout the night. Now, it's no lie that celebrities don't want seat fillers to sit next to them because they don't want any of their drama at their table to be revealed. So they do give them a bit of a hard time when they do try to fill empty seats so the tables don't look empty. When Pan sat down in one of Beyonce's seats, Beyonce's bodyguard, Julius DeBoer, even told her to leave the seat, which resulted in her taking a seat that Trevor Noah was in. While she was sitting in the seat, she was sitting beside J-Lo. Just when the commercial break started, Pan noticed that Trevor was making his way back over, and when he arrived, he told her to stand up. When she did, he quickly sat down and started greeting J-Lo, which left the fan in a position where she didn't know where to go. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming number 8, we have Jennifer Lopez. While Anna was exposing what happened between Ben and J-Lo, she would explain that Jennifer was on her phone and realized that her husband was going viral for his expression. When she shared the news with Ben, he wasn't so happy about the trend. To the point when Jennifer showed him the phone, she said, "Honey, this is so funny, look at this." He responded by saying, "Jesus Christ." So we all saw that video where a lip reader was hired by the Daily Mail that alleged that Jennifer told Ben to stop, look more friendly, and to look motivated. However, Anna claimed that the whole time the couple was actually super dovey and they had their hands intertwined and that it was really cute, and while she was sitting next to them, it actually wasn't what the Daily Mail was making it out to be. As she said, she wasn't like, "Oh my god, this is going to lead to a divorce," as she thought they were cute and she had a great time sitting next to them for the time that she was sitting there for. Coming in number 7, Ariana Grande. Terry George, the man who was mistaken for Billie Eilish's grandfather at the 2020 Grammys, seemed like he had a lot of fun that night as he was adopted into Billie's entourage. However, one star didn't rub off so nice on him. When he had the opportunity to speak about the event, he let it know who it was. During his interview, he said he was having such a great time with Billie that he even got to pose for photos with the singer. However, one person who wasn't so keen on taking selfies with him was Ariana Grande. When Terry was asked by Insider if Ariana was acting like a bit of a diva, he would respond to the outlet by saying, "Yeah, she was." He then went on to say somebody had gotten up and said, "Oh, I'm gonna get a selfie with Ariana Grande," and that's when he thought that it would be good if he could get one as well. However, when Terry finally made his way to her to ask for a photo, she refused and told him, "Not right now, I'm not in the mood." Terry also went on to note that she didn't win an award that night, so that's probably why she was so upset and acted like a diva. Number 6, Louis Capaldi. Louis Capaldi never got exposed at the Grammys, however he did once get mistaken for being a seat filler at the show in 2020. While the star was a nominee for his song Someone You Loved, the musician's big award show moment was interrupted when someone confused him for being a seat filler. According to Louis himself on Twitter, there was a bit of a mix-up at the ceremony when he said, "A lady at the Grammys has just come up and offered to take my seat because she thought I was one of those people who sits in chairs to fill them when someone gets up to use the bathroom." Louis didn't have any hard feelings regarding the awkward moment and appeared to enjoy the ceremony just the same. The singer didn't go on to share anything else about his Grammy experience that night. However, he did share a pre-show peek of himself in the bathroom for all his fans to see, so he was clearly having fun. Number 5, The Rock. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez wouldn't be the only one exposed during the 2023 Grammy show this year, as Pan, who won a spot to be a seat filler at the event, explained throughout the show her job was to fill seats so no empty seats were shown on camera. Well, sometimes this can be really difficult for the seat fillers, as some celebrities just refuse to let them sit next to them or tell them that their partners or friends are actually sitting in them and that they'll be back soon and to not take their seats. It wasn't Pan's first time attending an award show, and the Grammys would be the first time that she actually got to sit among the stars. When on the floor, Pan had to follow many rules, which included her not talking to celebrities who didn't engage in conversation with her first. During her time on the floor, she actually broke that rule when she decided to make the opportunity to talk to The Rock by asking him if the seat next to him was taken. Then Rock kind of gave her the cold shoulder, like many celebrities who don't want to sit next to someone random, and told her it was. Number 4, Chris Stapleton. In 2022, Natalie Bickle was one of the lucky 150 winners of the seat lottery for the Grammy Awards. While the seat fillers fill empty seats so they can give the illusion of filled seats throughout the night, it becomes a fun moment of musical chairs for any of the lucky winners. While moving around the floor, the fillers are not allowed to initiate in any conversation with any celebrities, but you can have a conversation with them if they talk to you first. While Natalie got close to many stars, she even got to talk to some people at Chris Stapleton's table when she said that she took his seat at his table when he was getting an award. While she was at the table, some of his entourage members did talk to her for a bit. However, when Chris went back to claim his seat, didn't acknowledge Natalie whatsoever. Number 3, Justin Bieber. Not only did Natalie Bickle note that she had an awkward moment with Chris Stapleton when he returned back to his seat, but she also noted how sweet Justin Bieber's friendship really is with Billie Eilish, and how she loved watching Justin react to Billie's performances. In her interview with The Insider, Natalie said that whenever Billie Eilish was performing, Justin Bieber was the first to stand up and give her a standing ovation. Natalie then recalled the moment was actually really neat, and she found the overall gesture really adoring and sweet, as Billie has been a very outspoken Bieber fan for years, and Justin has even been really protective over Billie, as he knows how hard it can be for kids entering into the industry. So it's really sweet to know that he actually really cares about her and wants to make her experience better than his was. Coming number 2, we do have Billie Eilish. Apparently being a seat filler at the Grammys guarantees that you will leave with some great stories to tell your mates. And this is exactly what happened to Terry George, who ended up being able to sit with Billie Eilish. In the process, he actually ended up getting mistaken for the singer's granddad. The former Secret Millionaire star told Yorkshire Live that fans made the assumption based on the fact that he was cheering on her win. Terry then went on to say, "I went to the Grammys as a seat filler and ended up sitting next to Billie Eilish when she was winning her awards, and it's probably the best seat in the house. It's what I call a golden seat, really." Terry would then later reveal that Billie is actually just as sweet in real life that we all expected her to be, when he said, as her and her brother made him feel like he was a part of the group. As when she won the award, both grabbed his hand before she headed to the stage to claim her award, and when she returned, Terry asked her what she was going to do if she won the next award, to which Billie said, "Oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm going to do." And coming in at number 1 today, we have Olivia Rodrigo. This year the Grammys wasn't really filled with any drama, which is actually really boring to see. However, some seat fillers did share all the fun memories they made while attending the show. One of the night's seat winners, Cameron Carlson from North Dakota, even got to fist bump Harry Styles. At one point during the night too, Cameron would note that he was seated on the right side of the venue at a table behind Olivia Rodrigo, and he explained that the award recipient, Harry Styles, would frequently pass by his seat and even did this little victory lap before he fist bumped him. And then when he went to perform, at one point he noticed that James Corden and Olivia Rodrigo were dancing, and that's when he noticed Olivia was jamming out a little too hard and she actually knocked down her chair in the process. Cameron would then say, "I was like, okay, I'm here to be a hero." So he ran over, picked up her chair, Olivia thanked him, and even gave him a half hug, and he found the altercation to be like very crazy.
Number 10, Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen was making it big before a big misstep in 2020 landed him in handcuffs. According to fellow musician Kid Rock, Wallen was arrested outside of his establishment in Nashville, Tennessee for having just a bit too much no-no juice and getting into a physical altercation. While being taken out of the building, he was breaking glasses and shouting really harsh words not worth repeating. That wasn't the only thing he did that landed him in hot water though in 2020, because as many people should know, 2020 was the year that we kinda skipped being told to stay in our homes and whatnot, but much like many rich people out there, Morgan decided to ignore the orders and just do his own thing. He was photographed having a wonderful time with some friends without a care in the world. Now while he really should have cared, because following week he was supposed to perform on Saturday Night Live, but he was asked not to attend. Final nail that saw him cancelled from attending most award shows, including the Grammys, was a video that surfaced of him using racial slurs. The video went viral and his career quickly came to a pause. His music was pulled from radio stations and he was dropped from his record label while they figured out the best way to handle the situation. Eventually he issued an apology, but it was not enough to get his name removed from the no-no list. Number 9, DaBaby. The rapper formerly known as Baby Jesus, which is a true fact, has always had a bad boy streak in the music industry. He's known for dropping some pretty choice expletives on stage at all times and even makes fun of his fans right to their faces, which is so much fun. This unfortunately culminated in him deciding that it was appropriate to joke about a certain disease that is unnecessarily linked to the gay community. On stage, he told his fans that if you didn't show up with it or any other gnarly STIs, then please put your cell phones in the air. In fact, he said a lot of really weird stuff before telling people to put their phones in the air like he was playing a game of Guess Who. Of course, he was torn to shreds by the LGBTQ+ community, including icons like Elton John, Madonna, and one of his collaborators, Dua Lipa. Not only was he cancelled by fans, but he was actually set to release a clothing line with fashion brand Boohoo Man, but they backed out following the public outcry. To top it all off, two of his biggest performances set to take place at Lollapalooza and a concert in Atlanta were cancelled amid the flurry of complaint calls and emails that the venue had been receiving. The Grammys will probably leave his name off of their guest list this year. Number 8, Milli Vanilli. The story of Milli Vanilli's downfall will eventually be a part of every single music history book as an example of people who just really didn't need to be famous. The only reason that they got their fame was by stealing music from other people. Rob Pilatus and Fab Morvan were quickly rising to the top of the music charts in the 80s and 90s, even receiving a Grammy Award for Best New Artist. They were headlining arena shows, doing interviews, people just really loved these guys. Until one day during a concert, their track that they had been lip-syncing to started to skip. The pair are confused on stage for a moment and then just run off, but that moment was 1,000 moments long. These two just plummeted in terms of recognition and appreciation. They were forced to give their Grammy back and had to admit to the public that they had been lip-syncing the entire time. Their producer held a press conference to confirm the situation and revealed that the real musicians were a session band. The real voices behind Milli Vanilli, Brad Howell and John Davis, finally got the credit that they deserved. After the scandal, Milli Vanilli tried to create another album using their own voices, but it was just not the same. In fact, Rob Pilatus passed away the night before the group were supposed to start a promotional tour for their new album. The album exists, but it's never been released. They were banned from appearing on the Grammy stage for 10 years, but seeing as the crew no longer exists, that ban might have just been extended to indefinitely. Number 7, The Weeknd. A while back, The Weeknd actually decided to boycott the Grammys entirely from now on, following his highly controversial shutout from the 2021 ceremony. The Weeknd thought that he was a strong contender in the big 4 categories, Album of the Year especially. His LP After Hours spent 4 consecutive weeks at number 1 on the Billboard's 200, but when the Grammys Grammys announced their nominations in 2020, The Weeknd was nowhere to be seen. He tweeted that the Grammys were corrupt. Many industry professionals came to his defense and actually agreed with him. People like Kid Cudi and Scooter Braun backed up his statements, and The Weeknd elaborated more in his opinion on the Grammys. In 63 years of the Grammys, only 10 black artists have won an Album of the Year. The Weeknd, who is already a 3-time Grammy winner himself, so when he was not nominated for this LP, he felt that he had been sucker punched, according to himself. Despite the snub in 2021, he was nominated in 2022 and earlier this year as well. He may return for the Grammys this year, or he might continue his personal boycott until the end of time. Probably that second one. Number 6, CeeLo Green. He saw us driving around town with the girl he loves, and he was like an actual monster on the planet Earth. Like, he sucks. When I was growing up, I actually really liked his music. FU was my anthem, but little did I know that in 2014, this man would turn out to be just a terrible, terrible person. CeeLo was brought into a court case after a woman alleged that he spiked her drink in 2012. According to CeeLo, he pleaded no contest to the accusations of supplying X to a woman who claims that she does not remember anything between eating sushi with CeeLo to waking up in his house the next day. CeeLo just posted a really questionable statement that I'm not gonna repeat because it's actually disgusting. He was basically arguing why what he did wasn't really what he did, but it was. He later apologized for his comments and eventually shut down his Twitter account. Since then, CeeLo has been blacklisted from Hollywood, and considering he's barely made any music since, the Grammys will not be inviting him to attend or nominate him for anything anytime soon. Number 5, Drake. Drake is a Canadian treasure and was a very vocal supporter of The Weeknd when he was snubbed in 2021. He actually made sure that everyone knew that he doesn't actually care for the Grammys and doesn't believe that the awards show, which was once the highest form of recognition, has remained relevant to the artists who are thought to be deserving of it. He wrote on Instagram that he thinks we should stop allowing ourselves to be shocked every year by the disconnect between impactful music and these awards, and just accept that what was once the highest form of recognition may no longer matter to the artists that exist now and the ones that will come after. He encouraged fans, saying that now is the time to try something new and that you can build it up over time and pass it along to the next generation. Drake has been nominated for a few awards in his career and has won 4 Grammys in various categories, but Drake is more than likely welcome to attend the ceremony, but if they snub The Weeknd again, he might just chill with him instead. Sounds like a fun time. Wonder what they get up to. Number 4, Zayn Malik. The former One Direction boy band member fired off at the Recording Academy 5 days before the 2021 Grammy Awards with an F the Grammys tweet. He expressed his frustration over the voting process and the lack of transparency behind it, as well as the lack of inclusion of different kinds of artists in a space that allows favoritism, racism, and networking politics to influence the voting process. You might say he went off a little bit, but he later claimed that his message was not personal or about his own eligibility. He claimed that the company was moving in inches when they really needed to be moving in miles. He said he was keeping pressure on and fighting the transparency and inclusion. He wanted us to make sure that we were honoring and celebrating the artists that actually deserve it. Creative excellence is key. End the secret committees. Until then, F the Grammys. That's what he said online. So when someone tells an entire award show to go, F themselves, you can imagine that it's not a fun time for the people receiving that F, so he's probably not coming this year. Number 3, Britney Spears. Now, Britney Spears was finally released from her conservatorship in 2021 and has since been on a new journey of self-realization and expression. In the past year or two, Britney has been involved with a ton of TV moments, usually interviews, but she recently released a memoir detailing her life experiences. She revealed a lot of juicy information about herself and her family and her relationships, but we have done dedicated videos on that, so if you want to see that and you're curious, go back and check them out. As we are well aware, Hollywood loves to take books, whether fiction or non-fiction, and make them a movie as long as it's a good story. Well, Britney's memoir might be one of those books, but considering her behavior on TikTok, especially in the past couple of months, something tells me that that won't be happening anytime soon. For those of you who don't know, a series of videos were posted on Britney's TikTok where she seems to be dancing with stabby jabby things and told everyone that they were fake. Fake or real? Someone please check on Britney. In consideration of that, Britney was not issued a ban from the ceremony, but security is on high alert, and if she shows up, they will be checking her bags. Number 2, Justin Timberlake. Timberlake. Speaking of Britney Spears, one of the most discussed sections of her book, The Woman in Me, is of course the revelation of what actually happened between herself and her Mickey Mouse Club co-star Justin Timberlake. After meeting JT in the clubhouse, they sparked a romantic connection, and their connection was strong, but unfortunately, Britney had to make a difficult decision in 2000 after she found out she was pregnant. At first, Britney was actually excited about the entire thing. In her book, she revealed that she had planned on starting a family with Justin, but this was just going to be sooner than they expected. It turns out that Justin wasn't excited and told her that they were both too young, continuing to remind her that their careers would also need to be put on pause. The revelation might be part of the reason why Justin was so nervous leading up to the book's release, and Britney revealed that if the decision had been solely left to her, that she would have gone through with it and she would be a mom right now. Justin's reputation has been called into question a lot since the book was released, and he's actually spent a lot of time trying to, take care of damage control, so far things aren't looking great for Justin. But considering the controversy surrounding him right now, we can't imagine he's going to be invited to the Grammy ceremony at any point soon. Imagine if he was a presenter. That'd be awkward. And at number 1, Kanye. There are so many reasons that this guy is banned from being in any awards show ever for the rest of his life. We could chalk it up to him being a cuckoo. After all, he was fired from basically every company he worked for when he posted some pretty bad tweets that I can't get into. But the reality is that Kanye was banned in the mid-2010s because he did following several public mishaps as well as one on stage that we still talk about today. One incident took place in 2009 when Taylor Swift was trying to accept her award for Best Female Artist, and Kanye just went on the stage, took the mic from her hand, and he was like, "Hey, I'll give this back in a second, but first of all, Beyoncé had a great music video, guys, the best of all time." And then he kind of stood there for a sec. Taylor still jokes about that incident today because while she was on her Eras tour in Mexico City, she took the stage to play her piano and the crowd started chanting her name, and she was like, "Man, it's so nice to have your name interrupted by a chanting crowd. It's the best way to be interrupted. She should know." Kanye was issued a ban for the following year of the VMAs, but he has since received a lifetime ban from every other ceremony and will only be watching the Grammys from a seedy internet website. Number 10. VMAs from 2015. 2015 VMAs were just start to finish rough. Miley Cyrus hosted that year, which was a bad idea. Not that she did a bad job, but she was in the midst of a feud with Nicki Minaj. Nicki called her out when she took to the stage to accept her Best Hip Hop Award, asking her what was good. Miley had just talked trash about her in the New York Times, and there was a brief back and forth, but all in all, it could have been way worse. Oh yeah, it did get worse. On top of dropping a numerous amount of F-bombs during the show, there was a wardrobe malfunction for Miley. At one point in the show, she did a bit where she was holding part of a drape over herself while changing, but the drape slipped and revealed her bare chest to the world. No censor was able to catch it at the moment, and any footage now is of course blurred, but that's what happens when you do it live. It wasn't just Miley that caused issues. Kanye West also made a long-winded speech that was kind of a rant, kind of a truth bomb, but mostly nonsense. The speech derailed the flow of the show and was just a little peek into the madman that was being created. Oh, and to top it all off, no Beyoncé, no Madonna, no Lady Gaga. Why? Number 9. Michael's birthday speech. Travel back to 2002 with me for a moment. It's just a jump to the left. It's a musical thing. On August 29th, the VMAs took place on what also happened to be Michael Jackson's birthday. In case you forgot, Michael was the Thriller guy, Macaulay Culkin's best friend. You should not forget him. In honor of Michael Jackson and in celebration, MTV threw a birthday party during the event. Britney Spears was tasked with presenting Michael and delivering his birthday cake. During his speech to set up Michael's arrival, she praised him as an incredible performer and referred to him as the artist of the millennium. Things got a little awkward when Michael took the stage and started giving a speech, thanking the audience for giving him the Artist of the Millennium Award. In one of the most uncomfortable moments in MTV's history, Michael Jackson started describing his childhood and how appreciative he was for the honor being bestowed upon him. The crowd was confused but ultimately decided to play along and gave him a massive round of applause. When Michael found out about the incident, he was actually more giggly than anything else. According to his management team at the time, he thought it was hilarious and felt like the biggest fool in the world. A happy birthday indeed. Number 8, Oscar streaker. This is by far the oldest entry on this list, dating back to 1974. During the Oscar ceremony, as the host David Niven was introducing Elizabeth Taylor, who was presenting the award for Best Picture, as he was making a speech literally referencing how the world was having a bit of a nervous breakdown and that films provided an escape from reality. A man wearing nothing but his mustache and his birthday suit ran across the stage, throws up a peace sign, and disappears off the camera. He never says a single word the entire time he's up there. After Niven had a bit of a chuckle, he told the crowd that this was bound to happen, but was it? Even in 1974, it was pretty difficult to get into the Oscars without an invitation. Robert Opel, the man with the mustache, made his way through security by posing as a journalist, and while behind the scenes, he cut a hole in a large and expensive piece of curtain that was supposed to be used for projecting images, and then made it to the other side of the stage. It was later revealed that this was actually somewhat planned, as the man was encouraged by a producer to make an appearance, and to do what he did when Niven said his lines, which was a strange and memorable moment for sure. Number 7, Miss Universe. Getting the name wrong for an award show moment is one thing, and at the Oscars, there are at least a ton of people who can share in your disappointment if that ever happens. But in 2015, Steve Harvey, the host of Family Feud, was the host of the Miss Universe pageant, bringing women from all around the globe to compete for the title of Miss Universe. As Steve went on to announce the winner, he confidently exclaimed that Miss Colombia, who was really the first runner-up, was the winner, when actually it was Miss Philippines. The mistake was not his fault though. During the rehearsal, he was only supposed to say 2 names, the runner-up and the winner, but last minute they changed it to where he had to say 3 names, which really just threw him off and created a lot of chaos. The teleprompter said 1 name, but someone in his ear told him to just read the name on the card that he was holding. Those were 2 different names, and a fumble took place. He went backstage and got told he did a great job, but then he was told he said the wrong name, and instead of waiting for the news to come out the next day, Steve walked back on stage, revealed he made a mistake, and to the devastation of one woman and the delight of another. He received a lot of flack for this moment, but again, not really his fault. Number 6, Moonlight mix-up. This is one of the few live TV fumbles I actually got to see happen live, and I was just as confused as the rest of the world. In 2017, at the Oscar ceremony, Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway appeared on stage to present an award for Best Film. They opened an envelope and read the name out loud. At first, Faye was a little confused, as it was later revealed that the envelope said Emma Stone La La Land because she was accidentally handed a copy of the winners from Best Actress in a leading role. Because it said La La Land, she confidently told the audience that La La Land won the Oscar. As the crew from the project flooded the stage, Warren and Faye just looked confused until the stage was overflowing with excited cast and crew ready to accept their Oscars. However, 1 moment later, the director of the film, Damien Chazelle, saw the envelope and addressed the audience. A mistake had been made and they didn't win. A stagehand jogged to them, just bolted across the room, handed them the real winner's name, which was Moonlight, who had won Best Picture that year, not La La Land. There is a moment of people thinking it's some kind of a joke, but the director was being very sincere. The best part of this moment? Ryan Gosling is in the background, the lead of the movie and a nominee for Best Actor, and all he is doing is trying to contain his laughter. He wasn't even upset, it was more like a "you gotta be kidding me" type deal. Something tells me that Faye and Warren won't be asked to present any awards anytime soon. Number 5, Adele Dazeem. A while back in 2014, John Travolta flubbed the name of one of the most famous women in musical theater history. At the Oscars that year, he was supposed to introduce Idina Menzel ahead of her performance of Let It Go, cause in case you didn't know, she voices Elsa. She was also Elphaba in the musical Wicked and a ton of other stuff, but I can't geek out about that right now. For this event, she was promoting the film Frozen and showcased a piece of music that became one of the most popular songs for the next 3 years. It's probably still in your head right now. He was so confident in his delivery, he introduced the audience to the wickedly talented, one and only Adele Dazeem. The moment spawned some parody Twitter accounts, and there's even an Adele Dazeem random name generator that's turned people like Jared Leto into Jed Lopez and Matthew McConaughey into Michael Mazzoline. Kinda like that one. The following year, the two appeared on stage together again, where Idina decided to drop some revenge. She was set to introduce the next round of nominees, and as a little joke, the Oscars executives decided to invite John Travolta back to team up with Adele. She introduced him by his new name, Glom Gazingo. The interaction between them seemed a little bit forced, but it was nice that they played the whole thing off as funny rather than an actual incident. Since then, John is supposed to triple check everything before he presents and has to practice pronouncing names constantly. Number 4, Will Smith versus Chris Rock. In 2022, Chris Rock was presenting at the 94th annual Oscar ceremony when he decided to make a little joke about Jada Pinkett Smith and her hair loss. Rock expressed his excitement to see her in a fictional G.I. Jane movie, and immediately following the joke, which was very funny and landed for everyone else, Rock stood in confusion because Will Smith started making his way to the stage. What's going on? Well, Will adjusted his jacket, took a firm stance, and clocked Chris right across his cheeks. He winded up his hand first to conjure the ultimate amount of force, and initially this was seen as a planned joke or something, but then Will started shouting several times at Rock to keep his wife's name out of his mouth, adding a couple F-bombs in there. Chris handled the situation pretty well, and he kept his cool, laughing it off for the camera, and he brought out the next award presenter. He was professional and was quick to get the night back on track, but unfortunately about an hour later, Will Smith won an Oscar for Best Actor in a Leading Role because he played, Richard Williams, the father of tennis superstars Venus and Serena, in a movie. But during his speech, he gave a half-hearted apology for his actions before claiming the situation was due to his months of portraying the father on set, leaving him with an extreme paternal sense to protect his family. Unfortunately for Will, the slap was enough to get him banned from the Oscars indefinitely. And on top of that, he seemingly canceled himself, now being seen as an aggressive man with no impulse control. He was fired from upcoming projects, and right now he just sits at his home polishing his one and only Oscar next to one single lit candle in the darkest room of his mega mansion. Number 3, Adrien Brody and Halle Berry. We're popping back again to 2003 at the Academy Awards, where Halle Berry presented Adrien Brody with the award for Best Actor in a Leading Role. Normally, when you accept an award like this, you walk on stage, thank the person who announced you, and give a little speech. But instead, Adrien grabbed Halle Berry's face and pulled her in close, planting one right on her. At the time, the incident was brushed off and nothing was thought of it, but a couple of years ago, Halle admitted that the moment was unplanned and she had no idea what was happening. At the time, this moment was seen as comedic or just some fun between friends, but in 2023, the moment feels a lot darker and it's pretty clear that Halle was uncomfortable. Number 2, Jennifer Lawrence. This is one of the more memorable award show moments of all time that she may never live down. In 2013, while walking up the stage to accept her Oscar for Best Actress, Jennifer took a little tumble and tripped on her dress. She stood giggling for a moment, but eventually made her way to the stage. But the following year, she fell again, only this time on the red carpet, and again the next year. People started to notice a pattern and started to think that maybe she was just doing it on purpose to appear more grounded. Not some Hollywood elite who knows how to walk properly, because if you're not famous, then you can't walk straight. Those are the rules. Eventually, she got her footing down and has not made any more on-air tumbles in recent history, but we can chalk up the moments to Jen wearing a dress that was a little bit just too long and not paying attention to where she was stepping, but that's about it. And at number 1, the Kanye snub. Now, there are so many reasons that Kanye West is banned from attending another VMA show in his life, and most award shows. Now, we could chalk it up to him being a cuckoo. After all, he was fired from basically every company he worked for when he posted some pretty bad tweets that I will not get into. But the reality is that Kanye was banned in the mid-2010s following several public mishaps, as well as one onstage incident that people still talk about today. The incident took place in 2009 when Taylor Swift was trying to accept her award for Best Female Artist of the Year. Kanye stormed the stage, took the mic from her hand, and told everyone that he was gonna let her finish, but that Beyoncé had one of the best videos of all time, guys. He didn't sound that nerdy, but Taylor still jokes about the incident to this day. While she was in Mexico City this year for her Eras tour, she took to the stage to play her piano and the crowd started chanting her name. She said that having someone interrupt you by chanting your name is actually the best way to be interrupted, and she should know. Kanye was issued a ban from the following year, but he has since received a lifetime ban from the VMAs and from his fame in general.
Alright, some of these plastic surgery results are absolutely shocking. First off, we have Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan, who's known for her sweet, innocent look, unveiled a dramatically different look in recent years. Ryan appeared in various rom-coms and series in the 80s and 90s that matched her bubbly personality. It was a time that demonstrated her external and internal beauty. However, female heroine roles eluded the actress in recent years. She decided to go for the classic Real Housewives of Beverly Hills look and change the natural grace that she had had during her prime. Her new appearance sparked debates among fans and the general audience about whether she got work done. The most obvious thing Meg Ryan got done is cheek filler or fat transfer to her cheeks, doctors say. When she smiles, the filler seems to move up, making her eyes look smaller, one doctor said. Surgeons believe Meg may have had too much Botox on her forehead, which dropped to the brows during time. As a result, her eyes looking smaller. Although she still looks absolutely beautiful, it is safe to say everybody misses her cute innocence from the 80s and 90s. Next up, we have Mickey Rourke. This American actor first appeared in Body Heat in 1981 before showing his acting prowess in his preceding films. It's nothing new to compare Rourke's work with the likes of James Dean, even Robert De Niro. His re-emergence in the 2000s with prominent roles Sin City 2005 and The Wrestler in 2008 solidified his status in Hollywood. Plus, he was once known as one of the film industry's most handsome stars. Unfortunately, plastic surgery made his career dwindle. With his bad boy persona in 80s cinema, a botched plastic surgery changed the public's perception of him. The general audience argues that he had cheek and maybe chin implants. He lost his original tough guy packaging after the surgeries. In 2009, Rourke admitted that his looks did change because of botched plastic surgery. He said most of it was done to mend his boxing injuries. However, he went to the wrong guy to put his face back together, resulting in an extremely changed look. Next up, we have Madonna. At the 2023 Grammys, Madonna revealed her new look, and fans were, let's just say, confused. Some calling her a quote alien trying to blend in as a human, and others blatantly calling her quote hideous. 2 days after the Grammys, Madonna slammed people who chose to focus on her looks instead of the speech she gave before the historic performance she introduced. Sam Smith and Kim Petras were the stars that she was introducing that night. Instead of focusing on what I said in my speech, which was about giving thanks for the fearlessness of artists like Sam and Kim, many people chose to only talk about close-up photos of me taken with a long lens camera by a press photographer that would distort anybody's face, she captioned an Instagram video on February 7th. The pop icon went on to say that she is once again caught in the glare of ageism and misogyny that permeates the world we live in. Madonna says this world does not, quote, celebrate women past the age of 45 and will punish her if she continues to be strong-willed, hardworking, and adventurous. I have never apologized for any of the creative choices I've made, nor the way that I look or dress, and I'm not going to start today, the 7-time Grammy winner continued. I have been degraded by the media since the beginning of my career, but I understand that this is all a test, and I'm happy to do the trailblazing so that all the women behind me can have an easier time in the years to come. In the words of Beyoncé, you won't break my soul. Next up, we have Miss Ariana Grande. Now, this one is not as noticeable as the other celebs we talked about, but fans are still wondering what happened to her face. YouTube videos went viral in 2023 and 2022 titled, quote, what happened to Ariana's face, and Ariana's eyes are weird. Here's what we know about Ariana Grande's alleged plastic surgery. 1. A nose job. Ariana Grande allegedly had a rhinoplasty procedure to reduce her nose size and shape it more naturally. This is one of the most common types of rhinoplastic procedures performed on celebrities because it gives them an instantly slimmer face, which makes them appear younger than their actual age. Number 2. Surgeons think she's had a brow lift. According to sources close to Ariana Grande, it is true that she has undergone a brow lift surgery. That is in order to eliminate the sagging skin under her eyes and make her look more youthful. It can do that by helping you look less tired or stressed out, while also removing that angry look from your face. Number 3, surgeons think that she has had a facelift in recent years. Another common procedure that many stars go through is facial rejuvenation with fillers such as Botox injections. It helps prevent wrinkles from forming around their eyes or mouth area over time due to their age. Ariana even got emotional in a video posted on Vogue's YouTube channel recently where she actually admits she no longer continues the Botox treatment and she felt like she was, quote, hiding herself under all those cosmetic procedures. Next up, we have the late Joan Rivers. In 2010, at 23 years old, Rivers revealed that she underwent 10 cosmetic procedures in one day, including a chin reduction, brow lift, and Botox injections. This beloved American comedian, host, and actress paved her way into stardom with her natural beauty. However, it comes as no surprise when plastic surgery enters the equation of a celebrity's life. She has had multiple procedures like facelifts, neck lifts, to name a few. In an interview with her husband Spencer Pratt, she said that she was too young to make life-changing decisions. She said she was under so much pressure from what she saw on the internet, it made her do these surgeries. But Joan Rivers said that everybody should take plastic surgery seriously. For her, the recovery was devastating. Her heart even stopped for a bit, which made her more transparent about all the work that she has gotten done. Next up, we have Jocelyn Wildenstein, a Swiss socialite formerly married to billionaire Alec Wildenstein. When in 1999 Alec filed for divorce, she reportedly spent $4 million on various surgeries. She denies having excessive plastic surgery, citing it's just her Swiss heritage, but admitted to one surgery to make her eyes more cat-like. According to her ex, Alec Wildenstein, she was thinking that she could fix her face like a piece of furniture. Skin does not work that way, he says. Wildenstein claims that she has not had any income at all for the last 8 years after her ex-husband's former family cut her off from her $100 million annual divorce settlement payments. The Swiss-born socialite decided to make a 2-part docuseries and potential TV show produced by the team behind the hit Keeping Up with the Kardashians because all her money's gone. I have a huge problem with my settlement, she told The Telegraph at the luxurious Mayborn Hotel in LA. Since 8 years, they have completely cut me off, she says. Wildenstein, now 82, rose to fame in the 1990s during her high-profile divorce from her art-dealing husband, Alec Wildenstein, from which she received a whopping $2.5 billion in the settlement and $100 million each year afterwards. Next up, we have Miss Donatella Versace. Her designs for Versace may spark 1,000 copycats, but there's no danger of women following suit when it comes to her new face. 20 years ago, the fashion guru had naturally full lips and very smooth skin, but as she stepped out 10 years ago in 2014 for the first time since major surgeries, her face was striking for all the wrong reasons. Users on Reddit have shared their opinions, and some of these comments are not the nicest, let's just say. Why is her face slick like Vaseline? She looks like a Muppet. And why does she look extraterrestrial? Are some of the top comments on the thread. Next up, we have Zac Efron. Considering that Zac Efron has literally grown up on screen, his fans are pretty familiar with his famous good looks. From his wholesome start as a teen star in High School Musical, through his recent dramatic turn in The Iron Claw, audiences have seen him through a variety of stages. When the heartthrob started looking noticeably different in recent years, they were understandably curious. Thankfully, there's no speculation necessary. Efron himself has been fairly candid about what has led to the transformation in his appearance. Zac Efron's famous face does look a bit different nowadays. The former Disney star revealed that he did have to undergo some medical procedures, but not for the cosmetic reasons some people might assume. In a 2022 interview with Men's Health, the actor revealed that his enlarged jawline was actually due to an old injury. While running in socks in his home in 2013, Efron slipped and smashed his chin against the granite corner of a fountain. The injury was so severe he lost consciousness, and when he woke up, his chin bone was hanging off his face. As for how the 2013 injury impacted his appearance so many years later, he explained to Men's Health that it related to his masseter muscles overcompensating for the injured muscles in his face, combined with his temporary failure to continue physical therapy. Our next celebrity is Miss Dolly Parton. Dolly is a country music legend known for hits like I Will Always Love You and 9 to 5, but she's equally known for her plastic assets as well. One of the first times she admitted to getting work done was in 1977 in an interview with Barbara Walters. But honestly, Dolly, we love you and you look great. Our final celebrity today is Kylie Jenner. Since her initial debut on reality television, Kylie Jenner has undergone a significant, very dramatic shift from her lips to even her skin tone. Her latest new image, however, showcases a larger butt and a smaller waist. Most likely, a Brazilian butt lift or buttock implants were used to achieve the new look. To create a lower waist and a bumpier back, the Brazilian butt lift combines severe body sculpting with liposuction. For reference, a BBL employs liposuction to remove fat from other parts of the body, in other words, moving things around. Often the fat on the stomach or thighs is sucked out and injected into the buttocks. In a recent episode of the family show The Kardashians, Kylie said she would reverse the decision to get plastic surgery if she could. "I wish I never got it done to begin with," she told her BFF. "I recommend anyone thinking about it to wait after having children." She went on to say that her daughter Stormy, 5 years old, helped her keep things in perspective. "Obviously I have a daughter too. I'd be heartbroken if she wanted to get her body done at 19, like Kylie did. She's the most beautiful thing ever."
And at number 10, Paul Stanley. The Kiss frontman looks very different now than when the band was in its height, and people think the change is due to cosmetic procedures. It's rumored that he had a nose job, facelift, along with other fillers and Botox. Some evidence also suggests he may have underwent an eyebrow lift and a lip job. Stanley is only admitted to one procedure, and that was an ear reconstructive surgery. He got this because he was born with a condition, microtia, which caused him to not have a right ear. While speaking with SiriusXM's Jim and Sam video interviews, Stanley also admitted to having his rotator cuffs repaired, along with a hip replacement and cartilage repaired in his knees, but nothing related to his appearance. And at number 9, Michaela Romanini. For many years, she was one of Italy's biggest stars and was titled one of the most beautiful women in the country, but after getting many cosmetic procedures, she was left looking completely unrecognizable from her former self. We're not sure exactly what procedures that she's gotten, but it's clear her lips, eyes, and skin look drastically different. Some media outlets even say she looks like an alien. But even with all the criticism around her looks, she apparently does not regret any of her procedures. Some reports even claim she is now addicted to surgery, specifically lip collagen injections. And at number 8, Kenny Rogers. The late Kenny Rogers decided to undergo cosmetic surgery, and it changed his appearance so drastically that it really hurt his confidence. He told CBS host Gayle King in 2012, quote, "I was trying to hide myself. I had the money to do it and I had time off. It was one of those things that I think everybody's like, you look at yourself and you go, could I be better if I did this or I did that?" Adding that he regrets doing anything, and he is always very curious as to what he would have looked like without it. He also said that the changes in his appearance did not affect his music or singing voice, but rather his confidence to get on stage and make music. He even cancelled some shows during his 2018 farewell tour because he was battling health challenges, which some speculated was due to the surgeries. His worst procedure was a botched eyelid lift. He said about the procedure in 2006, quote, "I'm not happy about it. It drives me crazy." And at number 7, Joan Rivers. The late Joan Rivers is a comedy legend, and she's been very open about the countless cosmetic procedures she underwent through the years. Just some of the procedures that she's admitted to include a facelift, neck lift, and eyelid surgery. However, she passed away at the age of 81 due to complications with a cosmetic procedure. Her daughter Melissa spoke about the tragedy in a memoir that she wrote about her mother called The Book of Joan: Tales of Mirth, Mischief, and Manipulation. In the book, Melissa states that Joan received 348 cosmetic procedures over her lifetime because she was always insecure about her looks. Melissa also appeared on the Today Show and spoke about her mother's tragic death following complications during a throat surgery, saying, quote, "In my opinion, it was 100% preventable." Melissa actually filed a lawsuit against the clinic, saying they were not prepared and very unprofessional. And at number 6, Priscilla Presley. Priscilla Presley has no signs of aging on her face, even though she is 76 years old, but she does look completely unrecognizable from her former self. Some say this is due to botched procedures over the years. A few years back, she revealed that low-grade silicone was injected into her face, the type that mechanics use to grease car parts. This was done by fraudulent doctor, Dr. Daniel Serrano, who was later sent to prison for his illegal tactics. A rep for Priscilla said, quote, "Priscilla Presley was one of many documented victims of Dr. Serrano. An investigation which uncovered his misconduct ultimately led to his imprisonment. Ms. Presley dealt with this matter years ago and everything is now well." However, one doctor does not think the botched injections explain her puffy, waxy face, and he insisted that this is due to repeated laser treatments and Botox. One commenter wrote about her look, quote, "What has Priscilla Presley done to her face? It looks like she has a scary mask on." Halfway number 5, Jackie Stallone. The late mother of A-list actor Sylvester Stallone revealed that she had many plastic surgery regrets in a 2013 interview. When asked if she had work done, she said, quote, "I do, and actually I've gotten too much. I look like I've got a mouthful of nuts. It's Juvederm, too much of it. I feel as though I look like a chipmunk." She continued, "Juvederm plumps you up here," pointing at her cheeks, "but it looks like you have a mouthful of walnuts." She then explained that she's had about 3 chemical peels and about 50 injections over her lifetime. She revealed that she had never tried Botox because naturally she did not have wrinkles in her forehead. Jackie claims that she believes in plastic surgery, but thinks that Beverly Hills doctors are overrated hacks, saying that she went to other states to have work done because she doesn't trust Beverly Hills surgeons. And at number 4, Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell shocked fans when he appeared at the red carpet for the America's Got Talent quarterfinals looking totally unrecognizable. His face was discussed at length in the media, and on the Absolute Radio Breakfast show, Dave Barry said, quote, "I remember Simon Cowell when he had his first face. I've known him a long time. The current one is a bit Slipknot. It's actually quite terrifying," with the host noting that his surgery was probably done in the dark if it came out that badly, and that a man with his money should have gotten the best surgeon in the world. After stepping out, Dr. Naila Raja, a leading cosmetic doctor, said that he had gone a bit overboard with the Botox, adding quote, "I suspect Simon's fallen complexion is a combination of weight loss and also too much Botox." And at number 3, Khloe Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian is the sister that gets the most flack for her cosmetic enhancements, because it seems like she looks different every week. While speaking about rumors about her plastic surgery, she told host Andy Cohen that she's had 1 nose job, along with fillers, but not Botox. Years earlier on her talk show Cocktails with Khloe, she also admitted to having facial fillers dissolved, saying, quote, "My face was so messed up I had to go and get this whole thing dissolved. It was a bummer and now I'm afraid to do it again, and I'm almost like, I swear things are still in my face." Although people don't believe she hasn't touched fillers because her face has changed dramatically since then. And at number 2, Lisa Rinna. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star is known for her signature pout that she achieved through the help of fillers, but she's gotten some other procedures that she's regretted. Apparently after she tried Botox she was totally botched. Lisa said that she got Botox in her cheeks because all of her friends were getting it done and she wanted to try it out for herself. But after the procedure was done, Lisa said, quote, "I saw a photo and I was like, oh Jesus, that's not good, that is not good." But after that experience, she's learned that less is more, saying that she still likes Botox but won't do anything that changes the shape of her face. And finally at number 1, Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton is my queen and I love her so much, but it's clear to her fans that she's changed a lot over the years, and she's been vocal that the changes are due to cosmetic enhancements. She told CBS Sunday Morning in 2019, quote, "It's true that I look artificial, but I believe that I'm totally real. My look is really based on a country girl's idea of glam. I wasn't naturally pretty, so I make the most of anything I've got." Dolly's admitted to many procedures, including a facelift, eye surgery, breast implants, liposuction, excess skin removal, lip injections, Botox, and more. Dolly also looks phenomenal at her age of 75 and says that she will look as young as her plastic surgeons allow. And at number 10, Dorit Kemsley. Dorit Kemsley has starred on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills since season 7, and her face has changed considerably since she's been in the spotlight. If you look even further back, Dorit looks unrecognizable from her younger self, leading many to believe she's had lots of cosmetic enhancements. Dorit addressed these rumors in a recent Instagram AMA. When asked if she'd ever had plastic surgery, she responded, quote, "The only plastic surgery that I've had done is my boobs. It drives me crazy when people say I've had plastic surgery on my face. I've done filler and Botox and I work with masterful makeup artists who can transform your face." She has also addressed this topic in multiple reunions for the show. In last year's reunion, she said she thinks it's comical when people claim that she's had a facelift or a bunch of surgeries. She also revealed in this year's reunion that she's never had a nose job. But honestly, a lot of fans do not believe her. And at number 9, Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox was at the center of plastic surgery rumors when she all of a sudden looked unrecognizable from her former self. Courtney addressed the rumors and revealed that she did not have plastic surgery, but she did get fillers and Botox every now and then, which led to layers and layers of changes that she just didn't like. Cox told New Beauty, quote, "I've had all my fillers dissolved. I'm as natural as I can be. I feel better because I look like myself. I think that I now look more like the person that I was. I hope I do." And at number 8, Janice Dickinson. Janice Dickinson has been deemed the world's first supermodel, starting her career very early, then transitioning into reality TV and publishing. But as she got older, her looks changed in ways that she didn't like, and she started to get procedures to stay younger. She admitted that she got her first cosmetic procedure at the age of 33. In an interview with ABC News, Janice revealed all her procedures. Quote, "Brow lift, yes, I've had my brow lifted." She said, "I was getting a bit of sag coming down my face, so I lifted them up. Yes, Yes, I've had collagen put in, injections, it's for the fine lines on the face. Because of all her cosmetic work, she looks unrecognizable from who we knew in her modeling days. In at number 7, Melanie Griffith. Melanie Griffith says she didn't realize how much she had changed from her cosmetic enhancements until she heard what fans were saying about her appearance. She said, quote, "I didn't realize until people started saying, oh my god, what has she done? I was so hurt I went to a different doctor and he started dissolving all of the shit this other woman doctor had put in. Hopefully I look more normal now." Melanie also spoke about how her many divorces and substance abuse affected not only her life but her appearance as well. But following her split from Antonio Banderas, she says she's in a healthy place and is hanging out with her girlfriends. And at number 6, Tara Reid. Tara Reid underwent multiple plastic surgeries after she starred a few hit movies, including American Pie and the Pussycat Dolls. In 2004, after many of the surgeries were botched, she was forced to undergo corrective surgeries in 2007. She told Us Weekly, quote, "I had a hernia, this huge bump next to my belly button. As a result, I couldn't wear a bikini. I lost a lot of work." After the botched surgery, she was unable to land the same high caliber projects that she had once before, and she was only considered for spoof movies like Sharknado. She told People in 2008, quote, "In my American Pie days, everyone was kissing my butt. I didn't realize how good I had it." Now she's terrified of ever getting surgery or cosmetic enhancements again. Halfway number 5, Reed Ewig. While Modern Family actor Reed Ewig was suffering from body dysmorphia, he underwent several cosmetic procedures, all of which he regrets. He told the Huffington Post that after all the swelling from the surgeries went down, the results were not all what he expected, adding, quote, "I vowed I would never get cosmetic surgery again, even though I was still deeply insecure about my looks. It took me about 6 months before I was comfortable with people even looking at me. I wish I could go back and undo all the surgeries." While he was recovering, he decided to take some time away from acting. And at number 4, Jennifer Grey. The legendary Dirty Dancing star was known for her unique nose that really made her stand out from the crowd. However, in 1989, after she became a huge star, she decided to get a nose job and made her nose look like every other big star, and sadly her career shrank alongside her small nose. The nose job was pretty minor, but because her nose was so distinct before, it made her completely unrecognizable. She said about the regrettable procedure, quote, "I went into the operating room a celebrity and came out anonymous. And because nobody recognized her, she didn't have the star power the movies were looking for and she stopped landing roles as a result." And at number 3, Rumer Willis. After Rumer stepped out looking very different from her usual self, fans speculated that she went under the knife. It was rumored that she received a nose job, reduced her chin, and had lip injections. It's not a stretch to assume that she's had work done, as Rumors admitted she supports plastic surgery and would be open if she went that route. She said, quote, "In Hollywood, I feel like there's a big stigma about hiding things, but people aren't stupid. If all of a sudden you jump from being an A cup to like double D's, people know. I just think you have to be who you are and own it, and not be ashamed to feel like you have to apologize." Rumors also opened up about feeling pressure from social media to change her looks because people are more vocal behind a computer screen. And at number 2, Bella Thorne. Bella Thorne was first known to the world as a Disney star on the show Shake It Up. But as she grew older, she changed more than what was possible naturally. Bella's been accused of having a nose job, boob job, and getting lip filler. It's speculated that she had her first lip injection when she was just 16 and had a rhinoplasty the following year. As for breast implants, one source claims she went from a 34A to a 34D. Bella has not commented directly on these surgery accusations, but from the changes it's assumed that she is not au naturel. And finally, number 1, Charlotte Crosby. The Geordie Shore star has been getting surgery ever since she got on TV and has changed drastically. It's at the point where some fans are worried she actually has a surgery addiction. Charlotte openly admitted that she'd had a nose job back in 2016. She also admits to getting lip filler once a year and getting a boob job to correct a medical condition she was born with that gave her a quote uniboob. The first cosmetic enhancement she received was a tattoo on her eyebrow so she wouldn't need to fill them in. At first, Charlotte hid her rhinoplasty from fans, but weeks later she posted a YouTube vlog about the entire process. After she posted photos from a holiday she took to Brazil, the comments accused her of getting more work done. One comment said, "She should have stopped with the surgery, Botox, and fillers a long time ago." Another person wrote, "Poor girl, her face is badly swollen. Is it an allergy?" And at number 10, Sharon Osbourne. Sharon Osbourne has been very open about her use of cosmetic procedures over the years. She even revealed in a 2013 memoir that she was done with surgery altogether, but that went out the window in 2019 when she revealed that she got another facelift, making it her 4th ever. Sharon is no stranger to cosmetic procedures. In 1999, she lost over 100 pounds after she underwent gastric bypass surgery. She also spent $120,000 on a facelift, tummy tuck, eye lift, abdominoplasty, liposuction, and Botox as well. In 2007, Sharon admitted that at that time, she had spent roughly $530,000 on cosmetic procedures in total. She's openly said in the past, quote, "There's not much I haven't tweaked, stretched, peeled, lasered, veneered, enhanced, or removed altogether." And of course, all her procedures have changed her appearance drastically. And at number 9, Julie Chen. Julie Chen is known as the host of the hit show Big Brother. She revealed to The Talk in 2013 that in the start of her career she decided to have eye surgery that would make her eyes appear larger. Apparently when she was starting out she wasn't able to get an agent because they said her Asian eyes did not look good on TV. This pushed her to get an eyelid surgery, which she does not regret. When speaking about the procedure, she said, quote, "No one's more proud of being Chinese than I am. Every decision I've made, it got me to where I am today, and I'm not going to look back." And at number 8, Heidi Montag. The reality star went from girl next door to Hollywood Barbie after she got a number of plastic surgery procedures that made her unrecognizable. She even risked her life to have 10 procedures in one single day. Just some of the procedures that she underwent were a brow lift, a nose job, lipo on her stomach and thighs, and a butt augmentation. But after all her surgeries, she revealed that she regrets the decision, and she ended up having health problems because of all the stress to her body. She told Us Weekly in 2013, quote, "I just didn't realize what I was really signing up for. It just sounds so minor when you have a surgeon describing so much of it to you, like okay, great, a little of this, a little of that. You're not told the recovery time and the mental strain it will put on you and the long term." And at number 7, Kylie Jenner. Anyone with eyes can see that Kylie Jenner has had a dramatic change in her appearance over the last few years, and it seems that she has underwent cosmetic procedures in an attempt to look more like her sister Kim. In 2016, after months of denying, she finally revealed that she received lip fillers. She even revealed to Allure that at one point she regretted her full lips. She told her sister Kim, quote, "Well, I definitely made my lips a little too big at one point," adding, "Thank God I didn't end up on botched." Kylie has not admitted to any other procedures, but it's widely speculated that she's gotten filler in her cheeks and chin, along with a Brazilian butt lift and breast implants. And at number 6, Katie Price. British model Katie Price has been open about her many plastic surgery procedures that have changed her face considerably over the years, but she recently revealed that she regrets a lot of it, and at one point she felt like a monster. Katie has told media outlets that she received a full body liposuction under her chin, and fat injected into her bum. Apparently after one round of procedures, she was told she needed a blood transfusion, but she was too scared of getting COVID to get one. At one point she was regretting it all, asking herself, "What the F have I done? Honestly, I've gone to hell and back, it was horrific. Oh my god, I look like a monster out of a horror movie." She also revealed that she lost count of how many boob jobs that she's had over the years, saying it's around 12. Katie said she was all natural until she turned 30, now she has almost everything done. Halfway at number 5, Nikki Cox. Actress Nikki Cox was one of the hottest stars in TV in the late 1990s and early 2000s, but her career faded after some botched cosmetic procedures. The biggest difference seems to be her large lips and tight face. Some paparazzi photos of her were leaked in 2013, showing her looking much different than the woman that we had seen on screen, and many outlets called her botched and unrecognizable. One plastic surgeon gave his opinion on her look. He speculated that she didn't go under the knife, but claimed her shocking look is due to botched filler. And at number 4, Donatella Versace. Donatella got her fame through running high-end fashion brand Versace with her late brother Gianni, and in the decades since she's been a public figure, her face has changed considerably, most would say for the worse. Over time, she's become unrecognizable, with her nose and lips changing the most. It's gotten so bad that Donatella has landed herself on pretty much every worst plastic surgery list that there is. Donatella has only admitted to getting Botox, nothing more, so she hasn't admitted to regretting any of her procedures. When asked about her different look, she said, quote, "I'm not like this genetically, I use tons of cream and take care of my hair and skin." And at number 3, Ronnie Ortiz Magro. Back in the day, the men of Jersey Shore were known for their chiseled abs and tan skin, but as time has gone on, the men have not been able to keep up with their strict diet and workout regimen, and they've lost the six-packs that they were known for. In 2019, Ronnie revealed he underwent liposuction to enhance his six-pack after welcoming his daughter Ariana the year before. While he was on the show called The Doctors, he said, quote, "A year ago to the day, my life completely changed. I had a little baby girl, she's like my guardian angel, and now I can't spend 2 or 3 hours in the gym every day like I used to." The procedure was a laser high-definition liposuction of the abdomen, which defined the area around his six-pack. And at number 2, Dolores Catania. The Real Housewives of New Jersey star went through multiple plastic surgeries since she became a star. She admitted to getting tummy tuck surgery, breast augmentation, facelift, liposuction, and a Brazilian butt lift. She revealed it actually put a strain on her relationship because her boyfriend did not support it at first. On the Getting Real with the Housewives podcast, She said, quote, "He was really angry. He was so mad at me and he didn't let up on it. I let him be mad for a little while and then I had to say, listen, you either live with it or we just have to move on." And finally at number 1, Larissa dos Santos Lima. The 90 Day Fiancé star revealed an entirely new look in September of 2020 after she allegedly spent $72,000 on cosmetic enhancements. These procedures included a nose job, liposuction, and breast and butt augmentation. She spoke about the procedures on an episode of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, where she said, quote, "I lose weight, I did butt to make it bigger, I did Botox, I did my nose, I did my lips, I did my cheekbones, I did my chin. I am a new woman and I feel very happy." With all the cosmetic enhancements, she looks unrecognizable from how she looked before the show.
At number 10, Amanda Lepore. American model and socialite Amanda Lepore is one person who isn't shy at all about the plastic surgery procedures that she has had and how much she's changed with each surgery. The transgender model, performer, and now author, who made a name for herself in Hollywood by just being herself, altered a lot of her body over the years, and she's even claimed to have the most expensive body on earth due to all of her surgeries. She's written and talked about all of the procedures that she's had done, and because it is such a long list, you can see how her looks have evolved so much over the years. She's had a nose job, her hairline lowered, her eyebrows lifted, double eyelid surgery, cheekbone, lip, and breast augmentation, gender confirmation surgery, hormones, and she even had her ribs broken and reshaped to alter the size of her waist. She even got botched ones when she got silicone lip injections because she got too much filler and her lips got way too big for her liking and she looked so different. Because she said that she got them done about 20 times and went a little overboard, she had to get them reduced because they just got way too big. She's happy with the way that she looks and she likes to evolve her appearance, so I love that for her. I really do.
And at number 9, Jessica Simpson. Throughout her career, Jessica Simpson has changed a lot, at some points looking unrecognizable from her former self. Many credited the change in her appearance to simple weight gain, while others speculated she got cosmetic work done. Well, she just exposed the truth on Instagram, revealing that she was suffering with alcoholism that caused a dramatic change in her appearance. In the long caption, she describes how she looked unrecognizable during her battle with alcoholism. In the photo, her face looks incredibly puffy and inflamed. She explained the photo was from 2017 at the height of her addiction. She said in part, quote, "This person in the early morning of November 1st is an unrecognizable version of myself. I had so much self-discovery to unlock and explore." Jessica also admitted in her 2020 memoir called Open Book that she had 2 tummy tucks in 2015 to get rid of loose skin from back-to-back pregnancies. She got an infection after the second procedure and was in the hospital for 9 days to recover.
At number 8, Farrah Abraham. Teen Mom star Farrah Abraham has been pretty open about her cosmetic procedures and has been under the knife a number of times, but it just takes that one horrible moment to make you rethink all of your plastic surgery choices. You might have seen the infamous photo of Farrah Abraham's botched lip procedure, where she looks nothing like herself. But let me tell you how she got in that mess in the first place. In 2015, the reality star opened up in an interview where she spoke out about how she had a negative experience when she went under the knife for an experimental lip implant procedure. Farrah said that when she got the procedure done, she knew right away that something wasn't right when the anesthesia wasn't working for her. She didn't think too much of it at the time, but as it would turn out, she should have said something to the doctor sooner. After the procedure was done and the implant was put in, that's when things went from bad to worse. Turns out Farrah had a really intense reaction to something during the procedure that caused her lip to swell up like crazy, leading to those crazy photos. Luckily, she was able to get things sorted out and her lip went back to normal, but she did say that it was a really scary experience for her and she thought that she would never look like herself again.
And at number 7, Christina Aguilera. In 2018, Christina stepped out with an entirely new appearance, which got fans talking. Her face looked very puffy and swollen, possibly from getting too much filler. Surgeons and fans had tons of reactions to her new look. One plastic surgeon said, quote, "Christina may have the appearance of fuller cheeks due to increased volume from fillers such as Voluma or Restylane." Another said, "I believe that Christina's puffiness can be attributed to overfilled facial fillers like belly fill or Voluma. She probably tried to fill out any wrinkles and give her face some youthful fullness. Her lips are also fuller, most likely from lip fillers." In 2015, it was also reported that Christina got a nose job. One surgeon said that he believes her doctor used cartilage to rebuild her nose after her first nose job was botched.
At number 6, Justin Jedlicka. Justin Jedlicka, also known as the real-life Ken doll, got famous because he was on the show Botched and became a fan favorite, so obviously I had to include him in this list. Justin became famous because of his exaggerated looks, because he made it his life's mission to become a real-life Ken doll. For him, the more plastic he looks, the better. Obviously, Justin wasn't born looking the way he does now, and if you look at old pictures of him, you can really see how drastically different he looks. Justin was on the show Botched very early on in the show's first season, making his debut in the series' first episode. He said that he's received about 1,000 surgeries to achieve the look that he has now, and there's no sign of stopping his transformation anytime soon. Justin said that he became obsessed with his appearance after growing up watching the show Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and recalling that everyone on that show had plastic surgery. To him, he believed that this lifestyle meant that you were successful, and so he's made it his mission to look like an unrecognizable plastic doll.
Halfway at number 5, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson first gained fame through the Jackson 5 as a child, and as he grew up he started to look unrecognizable from his child self. At some point his appearance changed so much, it was clear that he was undergoing plastic surgery. Much of it was deemed botched by the general public. It's rumored that he underwent countless nose jobs as well as skin bleaching. However, Jackson claimed to have vitiligo, and that's why his skin lightened over time. When asked about his nose job, Jackson told Martin Bashir, quote, "I've had no plastic surgery on my face, just my nose. It helps me breathe better so I can hit higher notes. I've had 2 nose jobs as I can remember." However, many plastic surgeons speculate he had far more than 2 nose jobs and that he developed nasal cripples due to the lack of tissue to breathe through.
At number 4, Jamie Lee Curtis. You wouldn't really guess it, but at one point, Jamie Lee Curtis got plastic surgery and she ended up looking a little unrecognizable. The actress opened up about a procedure she had received before shooting a movie where she got the fat taken out from underneath her eyes because she said that she was looking a little puffy. Well, it turns out that she got a little botched and her looks weren't too great because when she got to set to start filming the movie, the cameraman actually said that he couldn't shoot her anymore because her face looked so different. Jamie recalled feeling super embarrassed because she had just changed her looks too much. She also said that she was unaware of the fact that when you take fat from one area of your body, it, quote, comes back in another place. Jamie took this botched experience as a learning moment and never tried a procedure like that again.
And at number 3, Ariel Winter. Ariel gained notoriety as a teen star acting on Modern Family. Since leaving the show, her look has gotten incredibly mature, and many think this isn't solely from genetics. On one Instagram post, fans were calling out Ariel for changing, saying that they liked how she looked before plastic surgery. Ariel was so offended by the comment that she actually responded to it, saying, quote, "I appreciate you wanting to help girls love themselves the way they are, but you're also kind of cutting someone, me, down, which isn't what I think you were trying to do. I also didn't get plastic surgery. That's also not being supportive of women if you're just assuming something about the way they look." She's been open about getting a breast reduction in 2015, but many think she is lying and had more procedures. It's also been speculated she receives lip filler along with getting a small nose job.
At number 2, Barry Manilow. Some celebrities aren't shy about the work they've had done, and others go to great lengths to hide it. One celebrity who has continuously denied their plastic surgery is singer Barry Manilow, because even though there's been a lot of proof to indicate he's had work done, and the fact that he looks unrecognizable after all of those procedures, he still claims to be all natural. In an interview, Barry claimed to have only undergone surgeries and treatments for his health, like getting hip surgery and receiving steroid shots, but judging by the way that he looks nowadays, a lot of people aren't buying that and have pretty much revealed that he's been lying about getting work done for cosmetic purposes. It's been reported that over the years, Barry has undergone several procedures, including having had 3 facelifts and eyelid surgery. There are even photos of Barry from 2003 showing him leaving the plastic surgeon's office in Beverly Hills. In the photos, he's seen wrapped up in bandages while wearing a disguise of sunglasses and a blonde wig in order to avoid being recognized. But we all know that it's him. He's not fooling anyone.
And finally at number 1, Celine Dion. In 2018, following the passing of her longtime husband, sources say that Celine tried to improve her look with cosmetic procedures, but the procedures were botched and she looked nothing like herself. The source said, quote, "She totally lost her looks and is unrecognizable. The word is she went under the knife to try and give herself a fresh start, but whatever she's done, it clearly hasn't turned out very well." One plastic surgeon who did not treat Celine, Dr. Dave David, noted the changes are so drastic he wouldn't recognize her if he saw her out. Quote, "She looks terrible, haggard, and homely. The doctor believes she had a nose job, fillers in her cheeks and under the eyes, Botox in her upper lip, and had her eyebrows thinned and lightened. And it's not a stretch to assume Celine had some procedures done, as she revealed in the past that she is open to receiving facial filler." In at number 10, Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer shocked fans in a recent Instagram photo where she previewed her look while playing First Lady Betty Ford. The look is for a new Showtime series called The First Lady. The look, based off Betty Ford, features a 70s style short hairstyle with subtle brown highlights. She captioned the photo, "First look, the First Lady," then sharing a second photo with her co-stars Dakota Fanning and Aaron Eckhart. The comments under the post are shocked about the stunning transformation and can't wait to see Michelle on screen in the role. The series is an anthology series that will feature the stories of several First Ladies of the United States, including Michelle Obama and Eleanor Roosevelt. In at number 9, Tori Spelling. Tori Spelling debuted an unrecognizable look to her Instagram for Halloween. She captioned the photo, "Bathrooms make the best selfies," along with sharing a full body picture where she's wearing heavy makeup. She shared another photo with a close-up of her look where she looked unrecognizable. The makeup was a dark smoky eye and a deep red lipstick. Fans speculated that the seductive look is a sign that she is newly single, after reports surfaced that she was getting a divorce from longtime husband, Dean McDermott. A source reportedly told Us Weekly last month that Spelling wants a divorce from her husband, quote, "but she feels trapped right now. Apparently she is miserable but stayed for the kids." In at number 8, Brian Austin Green. After being kicked off Dancing with the Stars, Brian Austin Green shocked his fans when he returned to watch the show in an insane costume that made him unrecognizable. Green returned with his girlfriend and dancing partner Sharna Burgess, who made a cameo for the Halloween episode. The pair were watching from the sidelines, but decided to get fully dressed up for the event. Sharna was a glamorous skeleton, and Brian wore a pinstriped suit and a gray wig with a full head of hair, and also held a paddleboard with the number 10 on it. Because of his wig, fans weren't sure who it was when they first saw Brian on screen. Brian and Sharna were eliminated from the show in their third week after receiving the lowest score from judges. In at number 7, AJ McLean. AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys is known for his signature facial hair, but on October 27th, the singer decided to make a huge change that shocked fans. He revealed in an Instagram post that he is clean shaven for the first time in decades, and he looks totally unrecognizable without facial hair. The caption read, "Had to be done, don't worry y'all. It will return in a month." He didn't give more context on why he decided to shave, but since he put a timeline, I would assume it's for a project. Shocked fans flooded the comments to share their thoughts. One said, "Tell me why," referencing the hit song. Another said, "If I see you on the streets, I won't recognize you." And at number 6, Jessica Simpson. Throughout her career, Jessica Simpson has changed a lot, at some points looking unrecognizable from her former self. Many credited the change in her appearance to simple weight gain, but others even speculated that she got cosmetic work done. But she actually exposed the truth on her Instagram, revealing she was suffering with alcoholism that caused a dramatic change in her appearance. In the long Instagram caption, she describes how she looked unrecognizable during her battle with alcoholism. In the photo, her face looks incredibly puffy and inflamed. She explained the photo was from 2017 at the height of her addiction, saying in part, quote, "This person in the early morning of November 1st, 2017 is an unrecognizable version of myself. I had so much self-discovery to unlock and explore." However, she got sober shortly after that photo and is dealing with her trauma in healthy ways. Halfway number 5, Reese Witherspoon. InStyle decided to feature Reese Witherspoon on one of their most recent covers, and fans were shocked to see just how different Reese looked in the photos. Some say she looked 20 years younger, while others said she looked like singer Maren Morris. The magazine was actually criticized by fans for the blatant Photoshop. One Instagram user said, quote, "You look beautiful, but you didn't need the Photoshop. The best part of you is how you are fabulous at any age, and you just keep getting better." Another user commented, "You look gorgeous, but this cover has too much Photoshop. Absolutely no need for that." But the magazine's editor decided to clap back at these claims and said that there was minimal photoshopping. The magic was apparently all in the hair and makeup. Reese also proudly displayed the cover photo on her Instagram. In at number 4, Dove Cameron. Disney actress Dove Cameron is known for her signature bleach blonde hair that she's had basically her entire career. But on November 6th, she decided to shake things up and go brunette for the first time in years. She revealed the look on a red carpet for the 2021 LACMA Art and Film Gala presented by Gucci. She told Birdie in 2020 that she had grown out her roots about 6 inches and was happy that her hair was healthy without all the bleaching she would usually do. We're not sure if her hair was recently dyed or not because she posted a story in March with the new look, but then went back to blonde at an event. But there's a chance she liked the look of her roots so much that she decided to go fully brunette. In at number 3, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman recently shared an incredible throwback photo where he looks nothing like himself. In the photo, he's preparing for his role in Wolverine and getting in top shape. In the photo, he's seen lifting up about 4 huge weights, and by his facial expression, we know it's a ton of weight. He looked so different in the photo that fans didn't even realize it was him. He had a bulky frame and looked in pain while lifting the weights. Hugh captioned the post, quote, "Is it just me or does this guy look like he's in serious pain?" Fans were shocked over the picture, but they praised the actor for his dedication to his roles. One comment read, quote, "This is just one fraction of the equation that makes a beast." Fans also hoped this was a hint that the Wolverine was returning soon. And at number 2, Lily Collins. Lily Collins generally sports brunette flowy hair, but she recently decided to make a big change and she looks completely different. For her LUK cover shoot, she sported a bleach blonde pixie cut, a shocking difference from what we're used to. She even took a photo with the stylist that changed up her entire look. In the caption to the photo, she said, quote, "Change things up for December/January issue of LUK." Since posting these photos, she's posted other ones with her classic brown hair, so the jury is still out on whether this change is permanent or if it was just a temporary wig. And finally, number 1, Bad Baby. Danielle Bregoli aka Bad Baby shocked fans in a TikTok video where she looked unrecognizable. In the video, Bregoli mouths along to an audio called Golly G. The video quickly went viral and comments flooded in asking about her new appearance. Some of the comments read, quote, "She doesn't even look like the same person that she used to." Another said, "I didn't recognize who this was at first." Many of the comments also claimed she looked like Cardi B or Nikita Dragon. Danielle responded to the comment in an Instagram video where she claimed the entire TikTok was just a test for her fans, and it seems that her fans have failed the test. Apparently in the TikTok she used a wig with no curl, along with makeup that was lighter than her skin tone and no contouring, all to see if people would comment about her appearance, which they did. Danielle then said that the public just wants to hate and wants a famous person to respond to them. It has nothing to do with the way Danielle looks, but it seems people were mostly confused about her response. And at number 10, Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell looked completely unrecognizable in the new Batman trailer where he's playing the Penguin. The 2022 version of the classic story is starring Robert Pattinson as Batman and Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. In Farrell's version of the Penguin, he looks somewhat like a mafia boss. This is different than what we know from the comics, where the Penguin is seen with a top hat, a monocle, and a fancy 3-piece suit. Farrell is clearly wearing heavy prosthetics that change the entire shape and structure of his face, along with making him much heavier than his usual self. Farrell also looks much different than Danny DeVito's 1992 version of the character. In that one, DeVito looks straight out of a Tim Burton movie. And at number 9, Christopher Hivju. The Game of Thrones actor recently joined the show The Witcher for its 2nd season, and he looks drastically different from his work as Tormund. We got a sneak peek of his character on Henry Cavill's Instagram. Henry is the main character on The Witcher. He wrote, quote, "The amazing, the wonderful, the electric, enigmatic Christopher Hivju." Christopher was extraordinarily brave for season 2 of The Witcher and decided to play his character Nivellen with zero makeup or visual effects, as you can see above. In the photo we see heavy prosthetics along with Christopher even wearing horns around his mouth. So clearly Henry Cavill was being sarcastic in his post. And at number 8, Megan Fox. Megan Fox shocked followers when she ditched her famous brown hair and bleached it a silver blonde. The caption on the photo read, quote, "This is what the devil's daughter looks like," then shouting out her new role in the movie Johnny and Clyde. Fox will star alongside Preacher's Tyson Ritter. Fox is set to portray Alana, crime boss who runs a prosperous casino per Deadline. And apparently this film is incredibly scary, with insiders calling it a spooky supernatural slasher. Co-writer and director Tom DeNucci said Alana will be, quote, "a very dark character and that her look is meant to reflect that." DeNucci continued, quote, "I don't want to give away too much, but visually we wanted her to almost be like a Disney princess, but a messed up, very dark, twisted version of that. Her look is just incredible, this kind of almost evil princess character." And at number 7, Matthew Perry. Matthew Perry had worried fans in new paparazzi photos taken of the actor. In the photos he was picking up a coffee at Starbucks, but eyewitnesses say he was chain smoking the whole time, and he looked unkempt and disheveled. Others say he was also out of breath while walking to grab the drink. Concerns about Perry's health started after the Friends reunion aired, where Perry was slurring his words, along with nodding off during an interview. Many fans shared their concern for him in the comments of that video. One read, quote, "I hope he gets better soon. I don't know how I'm going to enjoy the reunion when Matthew is this sad." And at number 6, Renee Zellweger. Renee Zellweger was just seen out filming for her new role as convicted killer Pam Hupp, and she looked unrecognizable. Most notably, Renee was significantly heavier than her typical small frame. This was due to a fat suit she was wearing that made her look more similar to Hupp. Zellweger also appeared to have a prosthetic nose to further the transformation. The project is NBC crime series called The Thing About Pam. Pam Hupp was convicted of killing Louis Gumpenberger. She has also been accused of killing other people but not convicted for any other crimes. This fat suit has actually been controversial, but it's assumed that Zellweger took this route instead of gaining weight like she did for her past role playing Bridget Jones, where she put on a lot of weight for the role and took a toll on her mental health. Halfway number 5, Hailee Steinfeld. The Met Gala is usually a place where stars dress incredibly different from their usual selves, but Hailee shocked the world when she came looking entirely different than we'd ever seen her before. I actually had to do a double take to make sure it was even her. At the event, she ditched her signature brown hair for a silvery white bob. Her makeup also completed the look, elevating the white and silvery nature of the Iris Van Herpen outfit she was wearing at the event. We've seen Hailee at the event a few times before, but never looking like this. Although the look was totally epic, she went back to her classic brown hair right after. And at number 4, Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman has completely transformed into Lucille Ball for the new movie based on her life called Being the Ricardos. The film will follow Lucille and Desi during a whirlwind week at filming I Love Lucy, with the story unfolding during a Monday table read until it wraps up with a Friday TV shoot in front of a live audience. Not only has Kidman nailed her look, insiders say that Kidman sounds identical to Ball as well and has nailed her signature voice. One of Lucille's children even praised the film, saying that Nicole Kidman did a spectacular job in the role. And at number 3, Ariana Grande. When you think of Ariana Grande, her signature ponytail is probably the first thing that pops into mind, but Ariana is looking entirely different from her former self in the new promo material for The Voice. Ariana is the show's newest judge, and she's taken on an entirely new aesthetic. In the promo materials, fans shared that they didn't even realize it was Ariana. She's wearing less makeup, her skin is less tanned, and her hair is short and down instead of in a ponytail. One author even joked that she looks like a quote, married white woman, following her marriage to Dalton Gomez. Another said the lack of makeup might be the reason for her new look. They wrote, quote, is it just because she's not wearing dark makeup or does she have an entirely different face? And at number 2, Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato has been going through a lot of changes recently, some physically and others mentally. After Demi revealed that they prefer they-them pronouns, Demi has changed their style considerably. Demi used to be known for their long black hair, but recently they chopped it into a mullet-like hairstyle. At one point, Demi was even rocking a hairstyle that looked almost identical to the Kardashian matriarch Kris Jenner. Fans are even posting side-by-side photos of them compared, and it's crazy how similar these hairstyles are. But that's not all. Demi has also been open about their new fascination with UFOs. They're even creating a new show around the topic and potentially having interactions with UFOs. And finally, at number 1, Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon looks nothing like the man we've seen before on the big screen, and he shocked his fans when he uploaded a picture showing his face looking bloated and puffy. He was also clean shaven in the photo. It's clear the change is due to prosthetics, as he was looking slim the last time he was seen out before this photo. And Kevin's actually not a stranger to changing himself for roles. He's transformed many times before in his advertisements for mobile network operator EE. One fan even commented on the photo saying Kevin's new look is most likely for the same commercial. Another fan joked that he needed to cut down on the bacon.
Number 10, Zac Efron. Zachary David Alexander Efron rose to Disney fame when he starred as Troy Bolton in the classic High School Musical movies. He played the basketball player turned theater kid, and for some reason, that's a big deal to everyone. I don't get it. He was a theater kid. I've literally had 2 basketball players pretend to be a seesaw and hoist me into the air during a show. Bless their hearts, I was and still am pretty happy for that kind of shenanigans. He went on to have an extremely successful career, and while the films haven't always been the most lucrative, Zac himself has been a consistently solid performer, from Charlie St. Cloud to his most recent movie Gold and his upcoming movie Iron Claw. One thing that hasn't been consistent though is his face. In 2013, Zac was running through his house when he slipped in his socks and hit his chin on a granite fountain. Hey, we've all been there. According to Zac, his chin bone was hanging off face and he had to have his mouth wired shut and had been undergoing physical therapy right up until 2019. Many fans noticed Zac's face getting a little bit puffy recently, not really in like a bad way, just in a way that made him look a little more unrecognizable compared to his High School Musical days. He addressed rumors of him undergoing surgery and explained that it was the result of breaking one of the original rules of parenthood: don't run in the house. Most recently, he changed up his look for his role in the highly anticipated biopic The Iron Claw, set to release very soon. For this role, Efron bulked up significantly, now making the rest of him look like he was stung by a hornet, and is sporting a haircut reminiscent of Friar Tuck in Robin Hood. Hopefully the movie will be so good it's worth that haircut. Very excited to see it, it looks so good. Number 9, Moises Arias. A former Hannah Montana star, Moises is probably best known as the youngest entrepreneur and biggest troublemaker on the beach, Rico. His character on the show was always getting sucked into the family's problems. He delivered some iconic moments that are most of the reason that show still holds up to this day. There is a good chance that you have seen this man in recent Hollywood flicks, but you probably just didn't realize who he was. Since leaving the Disney World behind, Arias has been a part of several indie films that received stellar reviews, like the coming-of-age story Kings of Summer, where he played Biagio. Most recently, though, he starred alongside SNL alumni Pete Davidson in a film based on the comedian's early life called King of Staten Island, sporting a goatee and tattoos everywhere. It must be in Moises' contract that he exclusively works in films with King in the title, because he's one himself. Number 8, Amanda Bynes. Amanda got her lucky break on the Nickelodeon sketch series All That, which was just Saturday Night Live for kids, and it sported a stellar cast, including current SNL cast member Kenan Thompson, Drake Bell, and Lori Beth Denberg. Eventually, the producers decided to offer Amanda her own show, and her success only grew from there. The Amanda Bynes Show was one of the best Nickelodeon shows ever, and she was picked up by several studios to star in non-Nickelodeon projects like She's the Man and Easy A. Amanda took a hiatus, however, in 2013 following a very public mental breakdown. In 2018, she told fans exactly what caused it, and according to Amanda, she became addicted to the devil's lettuce at a young age. And while it wasn't an addiction at first, with more roles came more pressure and a need to find a new way to cope. This eventually led her to more drastic substances. She also believed that she wasn't pretty enough anymore to be in films, even taking Adderall as a way to help her stay skinny. In 2013, Amanda posted a series of bizarre tweets where she seemed to be insulting everyone that she could think of. She called the former president, Barack Obama, ugly, clearly referencing a character from The Amanda Show, but still, no he's not. She was arrested and placed under psychiatric hold as she was accused of several hit-and-run incidents and was officially charged with reckless endangerment and criminal possession of herbs and spices. Her parents then placed her under a conservatorship till 2022 when she stood in front of a judge. Now she is healthier and better than ever and ready to move on with her life. The judge said, "Alright, Amanda's free to live. Good luck, Amanda." There is a million kids who grew up with her, so I hope she's doing great and we've all got her back. Number 7, Macaulay Culkin. Culkin broke our hearts when he made his first on-screen appearance as little Thomas in the movie My Girl, and he continued to entertain us over the next few years, being a part of movies like Home Alone and Richie Rich, some of my childhood favorites. His career seemed to be on an upward climb, ensuring that he would have work well into his adult years, but it turns out life had other plans for Macaulay. Between the years of 2013 to 2019, Culkin had remained fairly reserved in the Hollywood eye, appearing only in low-budget passion projects or straight-to-video films. It might have been because the once young and fresh Culkin was now in his early 20s and he wasn't playing by the rules. A mugshot of Culkin made headlines in 2004 when he was arrested for possession of a controlled substance without a prescription following a routine inspection of his car. Rumors of Culkin's substance issues arose as the actor was later seen appearing frail, like he hadn't eaten weeks, and many were concerned for Culkin's health, but he later revealed in an interview in 2021 that he had finally gotten a hold of his issues and he was on track to recovery. In fact, just a few weeks ago, he celebrated a milestone in both his personal life and Hollywood career because he got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and was honored by Catherine O'Hara, who played his mom in Home Alone, and of course his wife, Brenda Song, aka London Tipton, and their son. Number 6, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay is a Disney star who actually never appeared in a sitcom or TV show. She just went straight to the movies, baby. She starred in over 60 TV spots and commercials for brands like Gap, Pizza Hut, and Jell-O before she got her big break when Disney casted her to play 2 roles in the classic family movie The Parent Trap. She played twin sisters Hallie Parker and Annie James. They randomly meet at a summer camp and discover their parents split them up when they were babies. It's such a good movie. The twins hatch a plot to get mom and dad back together. It's delightful. Her career only seemed to rise from there, starring in cult classics like Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and of course Mean Girls as Katie Heron. Unfortunately, her career took a step in the wrong direction when she was arrested in 2007 for driving under the influence of a controlled substance, for which she only served 84 minutes in jail. Because she's Lindsay Lohan, let's give her less than 2 hours, that makes sense. Until 2022, her career was at an abrupt standstill, and Lindsay decided to take that time to make some cosmetic adjustments. She got some work done to herself, and that Lindsay Lohan we grew up with is now trapped behind a thin layer of silicone and makeup. Number 5, Madonna. Madonna has surely gotten stuck in your head before with classic hits like Material Girls and Crazy for You still being played at dance clubs worldwide. What may have also gotten stuck in your head was just how gorgeous this woman was. In the 80s, Madonna was well known for her stylish duds and big blonde hair, at times almost channeling Marilyn Monroe energy. It was unfortunate then that Madonna felt the need to fall into the world of plastic surgery and injections as she got older. Photo comparisons from the 80s to now showcase the major changes, with her forehead appearing to be pushed out, as well as her cheeks and her lips being filled with enough Botox to give her the appearance of someone wearing a silicone mask of Madonna over their own face. We can only imagine what she may have looked like had she not undergone any surgery. Would she still be a material girl, or would that material be ridden with coffee stains and moth holes? Who knows? Number 4, Cher. Ever since rising to fame in the 1960s and 70s, Cher has been absolutely slaying it in the world of pop music, rocking her own solo career and collaborating with several musicians over the years. Her style and voice will definitely not be a stranger to you, unless of course you've seen her lately. Now, do not get me wrong, Cher is absolutely stunning and has put in a lot of work to stay healthy and happy in her personal life, but over the years she has been open about the numerous amounts of surgeries that she's had to have done, including lip fillers and receiving Botox in her cheeks, leaving her in a constant state of, oh that's nice. Despite having a negative experience with her surgeries, reportedly even receiving a certain augmentation that went horribly wrong, she still continues to undergo procedures to this day. For all we know, she could be doing it right now. Woo! Number 3, David Krumholtz. David's face may be familiar to many people because he was Bernard the Elf from the Santa Claus franchise. David has been acting for a long time, making appearances over the years in shows like Freaks and Geeks and Mom, but he's also familiar to many people for his more raunchy performances in movies like Harold and Kumar, as well as several collaborations with Seth Rogen. In his youth, Krumholtz was often typecasted as the young, squishy-faced good guy with a little bit of a bad boy streak. Unfortunately, as time went on, the actor appeared to be struggling with his weight, appearing to gain and lose weight rapidly. For example, in the HBO series The Deuce, David plays a character named Harvey Wasserman, who in season 1 weighed around 300 pounds, but in season 2, he barely weighed 100. This constant back and forth shift cannot be healthy, and it seems like in recent photos, it has been taking a toll on The Deuce. Number 2, Shia LaBeouf. Shia has been a controversial celebrity over the years, becoming famous as one of the hardest people to work with in Hollywood history. Like many bad apples in LA, Shia got his start on the Disney Channel. At the turn of the century, Disney released a little show called The Even Stevens. The series followed the titular Stevens family with a focus on the kids Ren and Louis, played by Christy Romano and Shia LaBeouf. The show is considered to be one of Disney's best. It spanned over 3 seasons and spawned an Even Stevens movie that, I'm not exaggerating, is one of the greatest pieces of cinema ever released. Go check it out. These days, Shia has adopted a more mountain man look. He always sprouts a big bushy beard when he can, and he went from bright and youthful to just tired and annoyed. Hey man, we get that. Following the show's end, Shia kept his acting career going strong, appearing in movies like Holes as the main character Stanley Yelnats, but it wasn't until his casting in Transformers that things started to go downhill. Since 2007, Shia's behavior as an actor and a person has been getting worse and worse. His fellow actors have reported that he takes method acting too far. For instance, in the film Fury, he was a soldier trapped inside a military tank with his crew. The film was set in Germany in April of 1945. Of course, they didn't have access to plumbing or any kind of bathrooms really at that time, so Shia decided not to bathe for the entire time they were on set. 3 months, fellow cast had to sit in a cramped tank with this man smelling nothing but Shia. Number 1, Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer made his name a staple when he starred in the beloved classic fantasy film Willow as Mad Mardigan, a swordsman who spends the movie protecting the titular baby from evil forces. Now, personally, he made a staple in my head, being the Batman that beat up Jim Carrey, but that's a whole other thing. Over the years, Kilmer has aged gracefully, being the leading man type over and over again, seemingly casted because of his looks over his acting chops, with a lot of people consider him to be stiff. Well, a lot like people like Mickey Rourke, Kilmer's roles began to shift from leading strong type to the dark and silent bad guy. I mean, just look at his headshots. He looks like an evil scientist trying to invite you into his mansion to show you his collection of animal skulls.